I hope he sits on his hands and never gets to call the pen.
All right, Brewers.
The 0.00 ERA, Craig Yoho, is coming up for the Milwaukee Brewers. How about that, guys?
Thrilling.
Oh, come on, Brad.
It is thrilling. But we also got Bucks playoff. We got the NFL draft this week.
We do have the NFL draft, and we've had a lot of conversation on these airwaves across ESPN Wisconsin. And we'll start with Goody.
Oh, the Gootmeister.
The fearless leader.
The fearless leader.
He is fearless. Very fearless. Yeah. Not fearful of losing a job.
How would you say your relationship with Goody is coming into the draft?
Right now it's a little rocky. I would say simply because, free agency, I thought he did a decent job. Didn't do as much I would have liked him to do. I really didn't contact Devontae Adams even when they didn't sign Devontae. So right now, when you're in a relationship and you look at him, but you don't want to talk to him. Just keep walking past each other because y'all got something to talk about. Me and Goody got something to talk about.
Brad, your relationship with Brian Gutekunst right now?
Yeah, to keep the relationship analogy going, remember when you used to put it on Facebook and there was a designation of it's complicated?
Ooh.
It's complicated with Brian Gutekunst. You got some good memories. You appreciate him for, sort of the stability, but you leave, there's a lot to be desired there, right? You're not eager to put in a relationship, right? It's very complicated.
That's crazy. People legitimately put it's complicated on Facebook.
That is a wild
thing.
thing.
Nosy about. I was the first. Click, go look at the photo, see what's happening. I'm nosy.
Yeah, hey, it's complicated. Why do you're just inviting drama into
why
your
do you
life?
Broadcast that?
I would say that Goody and my relationship.
Ooh, he probably can't stand you.
No, he definitely can't stand me. But I feel like you guys hold him to a much higher standard than I do.
No.
Me?
Yeah, you, Ben Brust.
I am not.
Championship or bust.
No, Ben doesn't have much expectations. He doesn't have a standard for him whatsoever. Ben's quit on him, right? When you when you quit on somebody, you have low expectations.
I would say
that's what it is.
We're going through the motions.
Yeah, that's not good. That's a divorce waiting to happen.
Have you reached resentment yet, or just lack of
There's
joy?
just a disconnection. There's no emotional or physical or any.
Spark.
We're just putting the kids in the car, taking them to school, dropping them off, eating the dinner, going our separate ways, sleeping in different beds.
Wow, that's very specific.
Oh wow, that is.
Well, you guys asked me in terms of my relationship with Goody, so I got specific for you.
Quite a picture.
That's
a sad picture.
Yeah, that is. That's
that's 50% of America I'm talking about
sad.
right now.
Yeah, after 15, 20 years of marriage, it definitely is.
Yeah, so it probably hit home with a lot of listeners. Damn, I'm doing that right now.
But Ben, is there anything that can re-spark that love?
Of course, effort and intention and thoughtfulness and just proving that you want to make this work together. And part of that's got to come from me too. I have to open up the door. And look, in part of my relationship with Goody right now, the door's open, right? This is a big time in our marriage. This is building for the Green Bay Packers while in Green Bay where the draft is. All eyes are on Green Bay. And what is Goody going to do with that? How is he going to prioritize my thoughts and feelings? But here's the thing. Everyone listening has different thoughts and feelings about their relationship with Brian Gutekunst. So with that, wherever you're at with Brian Gutekunst, I'd love to hear from him today, which he spoke to the media. Here is Brian Gutekunst when talking about first-round draft picks.
You need your first-round pick to contribute right away.
No, I think you'd love to, but I think a lot of you guys have been around here. It's great when they do, but that's not always the case. This is the transition to the National Football League is tough. It's not always easy. A lot of times it's really determined by opportunity. You know what I mean? If you take a guy in a particular area, that he's just going to have a lot more opportunity than somebody else, and we try to stay away from that drafting for need. We try to just, take the best player available if that's possible. But most of the time, a guy's impact in his rookie year comes down to the opportunities that he had more than anything.
All right, Chris, I'd love for you to play that again and then just stop it at the first word of his answer, because it's just fascinating.
Do you need your first-round pick to contribute right away?
No.
There it is. All right, that's all I took from it, because as I started listening to the rest of it, I heard blah, 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 blah. Opportunity. Guess what? If you draft a first-round pick and they're good enough, there's an opportunity for them. And there's always an opportunity for great talent in the first round, no matter what position. Even if in this scenario in which you guys hate the most, would you agree that if you drafted another offensive lineman in the first round, they should be good enough talent-wise, forget opportunity, that if they beat somebody out, they can play right away. And the way that he just dismisses that of and I'm talking about the one position where it feels like it's the most deep right now. Everywhere else on the roster, other than Jordan Love, there's competition. You use more than Josh Jacobs. If you again, my point of all of this is the way he said no right away and then just spewed out a bunch of nonsense about, it depends on the opportunity. This man's talking like they have a Super Bowl caliber roster and they're too deep at every position, and no matter who they take, should have no expectations for.
It's unbelievable. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting this answer. And guys, what was the question that was asked of him? Do you expect the first round draft pick to not be a superstar?
Contribute.
Not be a bona fide
What was that,
star.
Brian?
Yeah. Brian,
No.
do you need him to contribute right away?
No.
Not even contribute. That is the bare minimum seen.
He almost looked down at the question.
Yeah.
He almost
offended.
He was offended
you asked
that
me
the idea that one of your first round picks could be a player that helps the roster the next year.
And he says it's great when they do. I mean, Goody, this Green Bay Packer team will never win a Super Bowl if this is the mindset you're taking. If your first round draft picks aren't expected to not only contribute, but significantly make the team better. Significant might be a strong word, but start, contribute, fill holes, make the team better. That is the bare minimum for a first round draft pick. If your first round draft picks don't consistently do that, this team will never be able to win a Super Bowl. That's how important it is.
See, this is a cop-out. This is an annoying answer. This is a complete cop-out from somebody who knows his drafting record in the first round is lackluster, is subpar. This is the answer that you give when you have failed. If you're talking about a guy who has found guys in the first round that were impactful, he doesn't say no. He'll say, the culture we have built up here, the tradition that we have here in Green Bay is when we draft a guy in the first round, we look for him to contribute. This isn't college football. This isn't high school basketball. This is the NFL. Obviously, there's a transition from during your rookie year to transition to the NFL. But the fact that you draft them in the first round, they're first round picks for two reasons: because of their potential, but then on top of that, of the fact that you believe they are most NFL ready to come in and make a positive impact.
Not in his mind.
But no, in his mind, he thinks he's playing JV football. This is the NFL. You need to be trying to draft guys that you truly believe can contribute to this roster on day one. And this exposes Goody, and based off his last couple picks, whether you're talking about Jordan Morgan, where, listen, we don't know what he's going to be yet, but did not contribute year one. Lucas Van Ness did not contribute year one. Or two. Quay Walker, we're still trying to figure out what he's going to be. Devontae Wyatt, we don't know what he's going to end up being. Eric Stokes is not on the football team, and then you have Jordan Love in the last five years that we've drafted. Not good enough. You take all you have is Jordan Love and a whole bunch of guys where there's a whole bunch of what ifs, right? Those are five guys that should be contributing to this roster. These are five guys that should be helping Jordan Love get to a Super Bowl. But instead, Eric Stokes gone. Devontae Wyatt may be gone. Quay Walker,
No, they
still
said
hoping.
they want to bring him back.
Okay. No, well,
for 26.
Okay, cool. Okay, all right, cool. He's going to bring them back. Fantastic. But we're still waiting for these guys to actually contribute significantly on the roster. That is a problem, and this is why it's a problem, because you got the guy in charge who's doing the drafting, not looking for guys who can contribute now, but looking for guys who contribute down the road, and they're not doing that.
Ron in the Key must be a Goot apologist, because he says on the Carbless Talking text, I need to remember that the Packers are almost always drafting at the end of the first round, which is far closer to second-round picks than the
Lucas
front.
Van Ness wasn't in.
That's exactly
Lucas
where my
Van
head
Ness
went.
wasn't in.
Yeah, so
Rashawn Gary wasn't in. Rashawn, I'll give him that. Rashawn is good. He's good. He's a good player.
But how about the fact that he had 2 first-round picks that you can question the productivity of first-round picks in Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt heading into their 4th year, and basically saying, I want them to be a part of the team, and obviously this year in 26, but he's not like jumping to pick the 5th-year option up. He probably wants to negotiate a way to do what he always does right now and say, hey, we'll sign you on a 1-year prove-it deal or a front-loaded deal with no real guarantees. But, like, they don't have to do that necessarily.
And your first-round draft picks should be the guys that you're bending over backward to give a mega second contract to. I mean, it's just hard to take anything that Goody says seriously. Because remember, this is the same guy when talking about wide receivers. He said guys are now more ready than they ever have been coming into wide receivers and to make production on the field. So which one is it, Goody? Are guys ready or are they not ready when you pick them? I can't believe the low standard and expectations you'd have for a first-round draft pick. Even if you're a 32nd pick overall, you are in the first round, you're in the top 32 of guys coming in, you have to be able to contribute.
You're setting the bar entirely too low. At that point, Goody, listen, hey, if you don't think first-round picks, you don't expect them to contribute right away, that's fine, cool. If that's your philosophy, then trade the dang pick. What's the point of making the pick? Go and use that first-round pick to get somebody who can actually contribute and bring this organization closer to
He ain't
a Super
listening to
Bowl.
you. He believes in his strategy. He's not going to listen to you. If anything, he's going to trade back and get more picks and take more bites of the apple.
Sure. Trade at this point, Goody, go ahead and trade back because your second-round picks and third-round picks of late have made more contributions to this roster than your first round picks. So you know what, Goody, go ahead, trade out the first round and cook after that. But what also comes with the first round pick is expectation. And so as a fan, when you draft somebody in the first round, you expect them at some point to contribute in year one. And look at the difference that a player can make in year one. Look at the difference that Jaden Reed made. He was so good year one that we were expecting him to be a number one wide receiver in year two. Look at the difference Edgerrin Cooper made year one when he came along and all of a sudden popped. We expect him to be a huge contributor in year two. We're talking about Tucker Kraft in year three potentially being the number one receiver, not wide receiver, just number one pass catcher on the Green Bay Packers roster. Those are guys that contributed year one, took the step year two, and now are going to pop in year three. That's what we should expect, but we're not getting that production out of the first round, and that's because of this clown, the way he's picking in the first round. He's not looking for guys that can help right away.
Well, again, do you agree with Goody's philosophy? We'll hear it from him himself.
Do you need your first round pick to contribute right away?
No.
I mean, he didn't even hesitate.
It's idiotic.
That is a deep conviction. No, you don't have to.
Can you imagine starting a radio show and say, hey, do you expect for Kyle, Brust, or Nortman, any of them to contribute right away? Nah, you know what? We're just going to let them sit there quietly and figure things out. No, you got to hold people to a high standard. Get your behind better. That is the problem that I see with Goody. Goody, please change up your philosophy. You have a roster that is almost there. We're getting closer. But I'm not trying to get somebody year one this year who's not going to contribute until 2027. How does that make Jordan Love closer to winning a Super Bowl? How does that make Jordan Love closer to being an MVP caliber quarterback? How does that make this defense a top number one type defense by drafting somebody for 2 years from now? 2025 is upon us. Find guys in the draft that can help in 2025, not 2027.
He really does believe in his roster. And again, I'm just based off the way that Goody is answering these questions. I feel as if he believes that he has his philosophy and he's not going to change his philosophy because
crazy though.
He's getting to the playoffs every year.
No. But you're not. But no.
Hey.
I'm
just saying what.
Absolutely not.
I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm literally saying what I feel based off how he's reacting to these questions as if he's got it all figured out.
Goody probably sleeps in a separate room.
Guys, we have so much more.
He's too stubborn.
I told you that. That's why he's in the other room right now in my relationship with him. We're sleeping in separate beds.
What's crazy is he told his players after the season, you need to have a more sense of urgency because your career is short.
Guys.
But yet your first round draft pick can't even contribute year one.
Hey, I know I said that, but come here, my little puppy dog first round draft pick. Listen, you can sit on the bench this year. It's okay. Hey, Lucas, I know you sucked, but that's okay, Lucas. You have year 3. You're fine.
Guys, I have so much more to get to. I can't let you use it all up right now. We haven't even heard him talk about the wide receiver room.
I hope he said the wide receiver room is lackluster right now.
And we need help.
Has room for improvement.
Well, you're going to find out on the other side because Goody spoke on the wide receivers and the prospect of going in the first round to get somebody to bolster up that spot on the team. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. I just want to know your confidence level with Goody heading into this Thursday's NFL Draft. 800-990-3776. Let us know in the Cardinals Talking text line. We'll hear more from Goody because he's electric. Next.
Do you need your first-round pick to contribute right away?
No.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
800-990-3776. Say that again. What a radio pro.
He's so...
Say that again. Nobody said a word.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Oh, can't show you in there.
Why not?
That's the bathroom. We need a new shower bad.
Think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin? Upload your photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Luxstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contests.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at 3rd Street Market Hall, Milwaukee, Route Stop Kenosha, Bullwinkle's Brookfield, Curly's Waterfront Pewaukee, and the new Fashion Milwaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit. Pay no interest until 2030, plus $500 off your home improvement project. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SAND25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SAND25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SAND25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Biz Expo is May 13th at Brookfield Conference Center. Learn from the experts at the strategy seminars and keynote presentation on resilient leadership. Connect with business leaders and customers at Biz Expo May 13th. Register at biztimes.com/bizexpo.
Looking to transform your home with stylish furniture and home accessories without breaking the bank? At your local IKEA in Oak Creek, they believe everyone deserves a beautiful and affordable living experience that enhances your everyday life. From comfortable and fashionable sofas and sectionals, to kitchens full of inspiration, to bedrooms designed to help you find your best sleep and relaxation, IKEA's home furnishing combines form and function to fit any lifestyle and budget. Visit IKEA Oak Creek today or explore their collection online at ikea.com/US.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I'll tell you what, I appreciate Brian Gutekunst.
How dare you?
I appreciate that he sticks to what he believes.
It's terrible. That's a terrible way to live life.
For right or for wrong, I appreciate someone who thinks that they have it all figured out and they're just going to keep ramming it at you.
Those are legitimately the worst human beings out there. They can legitimately be wrong and sit there and argue with you for 10 to 15 to 20 minutes about being wrong.
No. He did 10 to 15 minutes. He didn't even give a reporter a chance. Chris, I mean, he asked him about a first-round draft pick. Can they have impact to the team?
No.
I mean, with the analogy, it's like we are one side of the relationship, and we want to get married. We want to win that Super Bowl. We want the diamond ring. And Cody's on the other side of the relationship, just like, I'm pretty content with where we're at. I don't want to move any further. I've got no plans in the future to ever marry you. That's what it feels like.
That's just indefensible. Like even answer that out loud. Simply, the answer is yes. The answer is always yes. Stop setting the bar so freaking low for these Packers players, man. That's the problem. That's the mentality. That's why we're sitting here still waiting for guys to develop, because the bar is set so low. You are a first-round pick. Yeah, well, can they come in and can they be bust? Yes, there are busts every single year. There are going to be guys that hear their name called on Thursday who will be bust in the NFL. But you should not say, no, I don't expect them to contribute right away. What are you doing? No, I expect them to contribute right away, and if they don't, then we need to make sure we get them up to speed so they can the next year to make a contribution.
All right, let's hear from the source again, because I love it. I love it. And we don't have to listen to the whole thing. We just got to listen to the start and then a little bit of his babbling about opportunity. But ultimately, this is what Goody had to say when asked about if his first-round picks need to contribute.
No. I mean, I think you'd love to, but I mean, I think a lot of you guys have been around here.
That's enough. That's enough. You guys have been around here. That's enough. You guys have been around here. You guys have seen what we do here in Green Bay.
You've seen my first round.
Basically, again, this is what he's saying. And so, as somebody here who wants to make sure that we're all not, because this is an example. Whereas if I hear this, Kyle hears this, Brad hears this, we all have a similar reaction. Like, interesting. You're not even going to open up the door to say, yes, like, I think it's something this year, like, we really want to prioritize maybe more production and a need based off, some holes we need to fill.
We're close.
That's not what he said. Alex Strofe hanging out at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Come on, Strophy. What do you think about that clip? There's no groupthink here. That's a little bit interesting. And he's not connected. I hear a little mini echo in my headphones, so I know he might be hearing me.
Yeah, he can definitely hear you.
Oh.
I just think about what Goody is conveying to the players on the team, right? And the guys that are walking in the door. I mean, this is the NFL. If I'm going to have a franchise, I would rather have a franchise fail by at least taking swings and being like, you know what? We might have missed on him. Ben, you just said, or Kyle, you just said, like, yes, there are busts. Every team is going to have draft picks that don't work out. But I would rather have those draft picks worked out where it's like, we saw it, we went for the need, we thought he was going to contribute right away, and it just didn't work out. But if there's already a low expectation of not contributing and not even in positions that can help right away, I'm just trying to figure out how a team can win a Super Bowl like that. Because on a Super Bowl winning team, you're going to have a handful of superstars that are making a lot of money. You need to fill the gap with cheap, young, drafted players. And head of those drafted players is your first-round draft pick. You cannot win a Super Bowl if your first-round draft picks are not hitting. You just can't do it.
Loving Football on YouTube. Hey, Goody, are you willing to rethink how you approach things? No. And I believe that would be his exact answer.
No, it's no good. It's
Diana
no good
from Maguanago, 800-990-3776 on a Monday. Or on the Carbless Talking text line, Dirty D.
Dirty
What's up, Dirty D?
Hey, first of all, did you hang up on me yesterday, or were you just finished with the phone call?
No.
Yesterday, I believe we were finished with the phone call, weren't we? Weren't we done?
Okay, I thought you hung up on me.
Girl, I never hang up on you. My mama taught me better than that.
Okay. I need your guys' thought. Do you think the Packers are ever going to see another Super Bowl as long as they have Gutekunst?
No.
Ooh, that's a good thought.
Will the Packers win another Super Bowl as long as Goody's the GM? Put it on the poll, Chris.
No, they never will.
It's actually tough.
Good question, Dirty D.
And I don't want to be extreme. I don't know.
They ain't going to.
Okay.
Thank you, Diana.
I
think she thinks. I think she. I did not. She was up on the phone line.
So it was like Goody.
Nope. I was like, all right. So Dirty D thinks no.
Yeah, I don't want to be extreme, right? But as a Packers fan, I should be a little concerned when the general manager is talking about a player in the first round pick that. Those are the guys that can be the people that change a roster, right? They can be game wreckers, they can be changers, they can be the eventual foundations and building blocks for the future. So when you hear a guy like Goody saying no, he doesn't expect him to contribute, that's one thing. But then when the second part of that is that, yeah, we'd love for that, but down the road they're supposed to contribute. But when I look at the draft picks who were supposed to contribute and like a Eric Stokes no longer being on a roster, that's the concerning part is even if your philosophy, Goody, was, hey, we want these guys to really pop year 2 and year 3, we just haven't seen that yet. So you saying no now, something's wrong with the way that you draft and the way you evaluate and the way you go about the first round, and you got to change something up because right now this is not a championship formula. And if he keeps down this route, then no, the Packers aren't going to be able to win a Super Bowl because you have to find difference makers. And if you're not going to consistently sign difference makers, then you must draft them. And unfortunately, the Packers are not drafting them in the round that you find the most of them in the first.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to change the question, can the Packers win a Super Bowl if Goody never hits on first-round draft picks? I would say no. So something needs to change about either evaluation or what he expects out of his first-round draft picks. If he can do that, we know he can backfill a roster with, B-level guys in, round 2, 3, 4, and 5. I like that. But you gotta hit in your first-round draft picks. You need your roster sprinkled with some all-pros. If you can't do that, I just don't see how this team gets to or wins the Super Bowl.
Well, there it is on the poll on Twitter at KBN ESPN and open for you to react on the Carbless Talk and Text line 800-990-3776. Will the Packers win a Super Bowl with Brian Gutekunst as the general manager? Just got up there. I'll give it a little refresh here, see if we got something new. And no leads the way right away. Within seconds.
See, I'm telling you, it's concerning.
I think,
and I'm a believer in Gook. I just want people to understand.
No. You don't get to be a Goop. You don't get to be a Goop believer and then just bash him all show long.
What does that mean? You believe in him?
That's you trying to protect your Packer backerness.
No, I'm not trying to protect anything. You guys know before. I'm not extremely critical of Goody. I can be, but I go back and forth with Goody. Sometimes I'm happy with him. Sometimes I'm not. That last statement, I'm just disappointed in. I'm very disappointed in the no. And so for me and a lot of Packers fans, we're going to have a little bit of doubt of whether or not he can get us over the hump because getting us over the hump doesn't seem like a priority to him. Winning a Super Bowl doesn't seem like a priority to him. The priority to him is having as many shots at trying to get there. But the thing you have to understand is you can have 10 shots, but if you are missing that one player, those 2 players, you're going to continue to have heartbreak as the Packers have had for the last 15 years because they have been refusing to go and get a real difference maker. I know we signed Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith. They were good additions, but they were not incredible additions. Those weren't guys that were all pro stud stars in the conversation for defensive MVPs, and we've talked about it. In order to win Super Bowls, you need true difference makers on defense, right? What the Kansas City Chiefs have, they have Chris Jones, who is a legit difference maker on the defense. When the Green Bay Packers won a Super Bowl, they had 2 of them. We know what you need, but Goody is not going to get what you need in order to do it. Good job with Xavier McKinney, but now you got to find somebody else in order to push this team over the top to get back to bringing a Lombardi home to Wisconsin.
So you guys have a Bucks series price at plus 165 against the Pacers at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. You're not rushing to put any on the Packers right now?
Oh, on what, the position?
No, on the Super Bowl.
No. No.
No. Wait, Chris, play it.
No.
That from Brian Gutekunst. And at Potawatomi Sportsbook, they have dozens of self-service betting kiosks, seating for over 200. You can reserve VIP spots for your group. Just go on the website. It's got everything there. Paysbig.com/sportsbook. You can start building bets as well. 20-minute reserved parking spaces if you want to get in and get out. Bet above the rest. You know where to go. It's Potawatomi Casino Hotel and the wonderful, wonderful Sportsbook. All right, coming up next, Goody talks about his philosophy with the wide receiver position. Will he do the thing that's been talked about at length here? 2002. If you don't know it's Javon Walker, you do now. That was the last time the Packers drafted a wide receiver in the first round. It's gaining some steam internally. Rob Domofsky, Jason Wilde, Brad Nortman's been running this for a good 3 weeks now or so.
Longer than that.
Okay, well,
Couple
whatever.
months, maybe.
But what's Goody think about the wide receiver position? That's most important. What Brad, what Jason, what Rob, they don't matter. It's what Goody says. More from Goody next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Do you think?
Nope.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Need a new vehicle? Check out Ewald Automotive Group's Spring Into a New Ride sales event. Over 1,500 new and used vehicles. Get Ewald's low price guarantee on new vehicles. Shop our certified best used cars starting under $99.95. Financing for everyone. No payments till summer with approved credit. Now is the time to upgrade with Ewald. Friendly people who treat you right. Great selection and low prices at 10 locations.
Go to EwaldAuto.com.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Are we going to buck the trend? I hope the Milwaukee Bucks can buck their trend after game one.
We'll be all right, don't worry.
But the 2002 stat of Javon Walker is going to be running for another 30 years potentially. Because I don't know how Brad wants to stay on his bandwagon of thinking the Packers are going to select a wide receiver in the first round when I hear Goody talk about how he's not open to looking at guys needing to make an impact in the first round. And then he also talks about the wide receiver room earlier today at his press conference. Here's Goody.
You know, you get the Javon Walker question every year, but do you think you're looking at the position any differently this year because of the visits you had and maybe where your roster is at that position?
No, I don't think so. I feel really good about our roster right now. I think that's one of the. It doesn't happen every year. Every year is a little bit different. But if we had to go play next week, I feel really good about our roster and our ability to win and go compete. So. Really across the board. So, hopefully as this draft unfolds, we're able to just kind of sit back and select the best players that fall to us. That'll be, I think something we've prepared ourselves to be in. So, no, I don't think we've looked at it really any differently than other than certainly if there's an opportunity to take a player at that position that makes sense, we'll do it. But I don't think we feel like we need to do anything.
They don't feel like they need to do anything, Brad. So you still want to be riding this bandwagon about drafting a wide receiver in round one? I'm actually, Brad came to us in the pre-show. He goes, guys, Jason Wilde, Rob Domofsky, they're all talking about it. They're talking about the potential that they are starting to believe the Packers may draft a wide receiver in the first round. I'm actually going to do you a solid. You're going to come in here and say, anyone else want to jump on my bandwagon? Yeah. I'm going to give you the chance to jump off your own.
No chance. I'm staying on it until the Packers read that name on Thursday night. I am convinced that they're going to take one. This is two things for Goody. Well, three. Either he's delusional and he just doesn't see.
What I got written down there? Delusional. I know a delulu when I hear one.
He's either delusional.
You've dated so many.
Hey, leave me alone.
He's either delusional. He's trying to be deceptive, and he actually will take a wide receiver in the first round, but he's trying to cover his tracks. Or
he don't never do that.
He believes so highly in his skills and his former draft picks, and he sees something that we just don't see. Now, I think he's leaning in the delusional area because there's no way that you can tell me that he feels good. Well, I guess maybe he does. There's no way you can convince me to feel good about this roster if they were to roll out next week and play a game.
Yes, I can. He says something in there, Brad. You know what he said? He said to compete. He didn't say to win championships. He said to compete. That just takes you into his mind frame is that he's thinking about, this team can go out there and compete. No, I don't want you to be talking about competing. Brad, you talked about sense of urgency. Sense of urgency ain't to compete. Boy, you already figured that out. That's good.
I think we got to go back to that sense of urgency quote and continue to remind people that after we listened to it the first time after the season, it felt like he was talking to the players. And then once we started hearing murmurs about how aggressive they may be in free agency, we're like, oh, Goody was also talking about himself. And then we listened back to it. It's like, no, he's clearly thinking the players need a sense of urgency because in this clip, he's talking about how he loves his roster and he's ready to roll the ball out and say, Green 19 said hut. And then they're good to go.
This team led the NFL in drops last year. It brought down Jordan Love's completion percentage by 3 percentage points, 3 or 4. That's a lot. They also lost your number one wide receiver in Christian Watson. He won't be back until November.
Per Rob Domofsky, 99.5% chance that Jair is not back with the Packers.
Yep.
Said that on Wilde and Tausch this morning. A cornerback who was an all-pro.
So this wide receiver group, plus a Jair-less cornerback room with Hobbs, who's solid, but that's not a Super Bowl type of cornerback room, and a D-line that cannot figure out how to produce. I don't know how you can look at that roster and say, we're ready. We don't need to go. We don't need anyone to contribute. It just makes no sense to me, and I don't know how we can speak out of both sides of his mouth saying we need a sense of urgency, our championship window is now, and be so lax about expectations and thinking they need to get better.
But he just said he believes in his roster. So he doesn't think he needs to move with urgency the same way that you guys want him to. That's where you guys got to separate
Is he gaslighting us?
No, he believes everything he's saying.
He does, because as Brad said, he's Delulu. He's delusional. And so it's just hard for me to fathom and understand. As Brad and you, Ben, talked about it so well, about the wide receiver room, you're losing your number one, well, not number one, losing Christian Watson, somebody who...
Maybe the most explosive.
Yeah, definitely most explosive wide receiver. Your defensive line, you're not adding on anybody. You're hoping for improvement. And Ben said a long time ago, hope is not
a strategy.
And so you're hoping for that to happen. And then you talked about the fact that cornerback CB1 is completely gone. And you're talking about a guy in Keyshawn Nixon that you signed to be a special teams guy. He has played above his pay grade, but he's not a number one corner. And Carrington Valentine wasn't drafted to be a number one corner. Hell, he might not even drafted to be a number two corner. He was drafted for depth. So when I look at this roster and I look at the guys, the teams who are chasing, we're talking about the Detroit Lions, and the only reason that we're hopeful that the Packers beat Detroit Lions is because they lost their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, but they still have those dudes on the football field. You're chasing behind a team like the Philadelphia Eagles that ain't really lose too much. They lost a couple guys, but their offense is still explosive, and the defense still has some young emerging talent as well. And so these are the guys that you're chasing. They have guys that sit back and let them develop from year 2 to year 3 or 1 to 2. You don't have that luxury. So to sit here and feel confident and good about a roster without improving it that was not good enough to compete and win championships last year is absolutely delusional. What world does he live in where he doesn't feel like he needs to improve the roster in order to get better to reach the level of competency and talent these other teams have? You were 1-5 in your division. You lost every single game to any good football team you played last year, and you are content with where they're at?
Yeah, I think last week we spent a lot of time. We stumbled into it. I think with Tausch about if they were to draft an offensive lineman in the first round. I guess for me, the reason why I was okay with the idea, I would prefer if the right defensive lineman or corner. I'm personally just not in the believing in the wide receiver thing until it happens. I'm just not getting my hopes up. That's just the way I'm going to operate in terms of the draft pick. But when we were talking about the scenario of I'd be okay with him drafting an offensive tackle, it's because when I look at the roster, I don't know if there's anything that they can do that will change my mind into telling me they're a championship team. But now I become frustrated this week when I hear Goody talk about how he thinks the roster's really good and how he feels he doesn't need to change his approaches at all. Mine came from all right, if the board falls a certain way, sure, get a tackle.
Yeah, y'all fell into the groupthink of Goody. That's the problem.
Now I'm basically just hearing he, based off what I saw last year, based off the holistic 53-man roster, they're not close to, as Kyle had said, as to all those other teams. And I believe that Kyle is right, and that they don't have the luxury of other teams as well to be drafting and saying from any position standpoint that they can just sit back and if the opportunity is there, then maybe it'll be. But no, I feel as if this roster is good, not great, and that everyone who would be drafted in the first round would have an opportunity to compete for a position, but he made it seem it's just they can grow, they can develop. Yeah, sure, but at the same time, he's kind of doing the both sides of his mouth thing, and now that's where I've shifted back to. I tried to meet Goody halfway last week. I was like, you know what? If he drafts a tackle, that means he's telling us that he probably is a year away from making that championship push. But now when he's opening his mouth and telling me that this roster's good enough, I have a hard time just being yeah, I agree.
Well, and let us not forget that Super Bowl week, Josh Jacobs, the workhorse star running back on the Packers, was on Kay Adams, and Kay asked him something to the effect of, so do you think you're a guy away? You think you're a player away? You know what his response was? I think we're more like a few. So he was saying, we're not one player away, we're 3. And that's basically saying we're not good enough at multiple positions to be able to compete for a championship. So Josh Jacobs sees it. Why can't Goody see it? We see it. Why can't Goody see it?
And so what's so infuriating about this conversation, KBN Nation? I understand I can be overly emotional, but right now I'm going to try to be more pragmatic and provide just some examples.
Well, how about you do that on the other side? Get your pragmatic examples ready. Take a deep breath, and then don't yell at Goody. Present the facts, what you think will put Goody in a bad light.
I'm going to bring Goody to the court of Kyle Wallace.
Oh.
Goody to the court of Kyle Wallace on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. I'm intrigued.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Yeah, see, the thing about me is, I like
You like crazy.
I like crazy. I like a little excitement in my life. I like a little bit of drama.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Oh, can't show you in there.
Why not?
That's the bathroom. We need a new shower bad.
Think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin? Upload your photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Luxstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contests.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
At the Knickerbocker Hotel, we believe your stay should be as convenient and luxurious as possible. Whether you're planning a small meeting or a special event, our versatile space is perfect for any occasion. Start your day with a delicious meal at the Nick Restaurant and Bar, or unwind at the Nick Salon and Spa. Wanting to stay active? Their 24-hour fitness center is always available. If you need something custom made or alterations made, there's a tailor on site. The Knickerbocker, where every detail is designed with your comfort in mind. For more information and to book your next stay, visit knickerbockerontheLake.com.
Quality isn't just a promise, it's a process. At Higher Love, they craft with integrity, delivering farm-to-table products you can trust. As the only Clean Green certified organic cultivator in the Upper Peninsula, Higher Love takes pride in growing pure premium products, meaning better quality at better value and a difference you can feel. You can find Higher Love just across the border in Menominee and Ironwood, or at any of their 9 locations throughout the UP. Get more information at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way. Like all pairs of Skechers, buy one, get one half price. Select 4 packs of ratcheting tie-downs, $17.99. And new colors of men's work and sport polos, $15.99. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Oh, wow, honey, I love it. It's so beautiful and so sparkly.
Just like you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
I'll wear it every day. It goes with everything.
This Mother's Day, wow Mom with spirit-lifting, outfit-making, express your love jewelry. Shop jtv.com/mom for wow-worthy and budget-friendly styles.
I'm never taking it off.
Another wow factor? Sign up for JTV Text and get $30 off. If she loves jewelry, she'll love JTV.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your nature-made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion, or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Brian Gutekunst spoke to the media today. The NFL draft is in Green Bay. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Chris Larson in for Alex Strofe. And Kyle, you want to hold Goody accountable.
I sure do.
And are you going to be able to do this without getting mad at him?
I'm going to try my best.
Okay.
I'm going to try my best without getting mad because sometimes I get frustrated with the different things that come to mind or things that Goody does. But Goody just said earlier he was asked whether or not a first-round pick should be able to contribute right away to the roster. And Chris, his response to that question of should they be able to contribute was?
No.
That's just ridiculous to me. Now, some may say, Kyle, you're being over the top, being ridiculous. Here's my evidence. Right now, I said the Green Bay Packers are chasing two teams, one of the teams in our division. Think about the Detroit Lions. Do you realize in the first round, the Detroit Lions don't have that same philosophy now, do they, Ben? And yes, they've drafted earlier. They've drafted earlier. But Terrion Arnold, last year, he had an up-and-down rookie year, but what did he play as a first-round draft pick? He played a lot of football for them because they expected him to make an impact. Jahmyr Gibbs, they got him at 12. What did he do? Stud. Jack Campbell got him at 18. What did he do?
Stud.
Aiden Hutchinson, now he was early on, so you expect him to be a stud. But again, he played an impact on this team. I can keep going down, but you say, okay, what about he's drafting early? What about the Philadelphia Eagles, right? There's a guy named Quinion Mitchell last year, got drafted number 22. What did he do last year? Started on the Super Bowl winning championship team, did he not?
All rookie team, I believe.
Okay, Jalen Carter. Granted, that was a number 9 overall pick. I believe they traded up to go get him, but what happened? He contributed to the field, the team. Nolan Smith Jr., he got hurt in the game against the Packers, but what did he have? He had a big interception, I believe, in that game as well. Jordan Davis, Devontae Smith. Like, all these are guys who are they're studs, right? These are guys that they drafted that are making an impact on the football team.
All right, so what does it have to do with the Green Bay Packers selections?
So for me, when I look at the Green Bay Packers overall, is you hear a general manager saying, no, a guy in the first round doesn't need to make an impact right away. Well, I just showed you the reason why they need to make an impact right away, because those are the guys that are the foundation for success. All those guys I listed for the Detroit Lions are contributing for the Detroit Lions. All the guys I just listed for the Philadelphia Eagles are contributing to a championship roster for the Philadelphia Eagles. If the Packers had just half that, if the Packers out of the last 8 drafts had half the first round picks actually make big contributions on this football team, we're having a different conversation. If you hit just either with Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, or Lucas Van Ness, if you hit on one of those guys where they were actually a guy you can't wait to give him an extension, this defense is different. You're talking about a stud linebacker on the inside that's stopping the run and making plays in the passing game. That would be great. You're talking about a D lineman that's getting pressure by himself, doesn't need a stun or anything like that. You just bull rush or beat an offensive lineman. You're talking about a different conversation.
But that's the 13th pick in the draft, the one that I think you should hold most accountable for Goody.
They're first round picks. I don't care where you got picked at, if it's the 28th pick, the 22nd pick, or the 13th pick, or the top 5 pick. If you are in the first round, I expect at some point you start contributing, and I expect in the first year you make a contribution, because other teams, other football teams have been able to do that. You can even look at the Kansas City Chiefs where they're getting contributions from their guys in the first round.
Your point is taken, because Dave from Aaron chimes in the Carbus Talking text line. All Goody is doing is covering his behind by saying a first-round pick doesn't need to contribute right away because most of his first-round picks don't.
That's where, I think he's trying to change the narrative, right? Because he knows his draft history isn't very good. And I don't know if he's trying to lower expectations going in the future, like he's concerned for job security as Ed Policy comes in here and takes over for Mark Murphy. But I don't know another franchise, and that includes, the Jags and the Panthers, ones that I was a part of, that we had some success at that time, but now they're not experiencing that. Even teams of a lower standing in the NFL that are much lower than the Packers. I don't know another team that thinks so casually about first round draft picks. There's a reason why Thursday night is an absolutely massive night.
It's just one day.
One of the biggest nights of
the NFL. They don't do round 1 and round 2. They do round 1.
Every first round draft pick flown in, celebrated like a prize pony. And if you don't expect him to come in here and be a contributor, then what are you doing? You cannot build a Super Bowl winning roster if you cannot have first round draft picks contribute year 1. Now, that's not the 5th rounder, but the first rounder, you got to show up and it's got to be day 1.
Would you ever want them to trade up and just yes or no?
Yes.
I don't trust Goody to trade up to go get the right guy.
That's what my point was going to be, because you want to say yes, but the evidence is he hasn't been great in the first round. The last time he traded up, though, he did.
For Jair Alexander, I think it was the last time, and it ended up working out.
Jair and Jordan Love, they traded up for. I think when he trades up, he has conviction about that guy. Now, Goody has conviction about guys not starting either, or not contributing year one. But it seems like it's a marriage between need and holy cow, this guy's available. That seems to be what happens when he trades up. So that's the only. It's an aggressive stance that you don't see out of Goody. I want more.
Brandon chimes in on the Carbless Talking text line. It's a good day for Kyle right now. I mean, typically the Carbless Talking text line is after flip-flop halfway Kyle.
Listen, go Pack, go, baby. I'm in Packers gear
cool.
Monday through Wednesday. Like, I love my Packers.
Kyle's nailing this. The Packers have been good in spite of how many misses Goody has. Imagine if he actually hit on some of these first-round picks.
Imagine being able to tell your boss, I'm going to pick this guy here, and I promise you, I'm going to sell you this dream. 2 years from now, in his year 3, he's going to be great. He's going to be great. But what about Eric Stokes? Hey, Ed. Eric Stokes, an anomaly. I had Jordan Love, remember? Remember Jordan Love?
So I think the fascinating thing to me right now is he continues to do enough, though, like, because we're very draft-focused right now. He does deserve credit for drafting signing Josh Jacobs and signing Xavier McKinney. And the transition from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love, like they've made the playoffs the last 2 years, and ultimately he is responsible for putting together the roster, and that's a success. Now, is it successful enough to your standard? Maybe, maybe not. You get to be the judge of that.
What do we all should be the judge?
I know you all but you're not the only judge. I'm talking to KBN Nation right now.
KBN Nation, if you're looking at the first round picks and you said, oh, well, he did good in the second round and the third round the last couple of years, so that should make up for it. Hell no. You need to hit in the first round. He ain't going to hit every year, but y'all show me the hit. Show me the hit out of the last 5 first-round picks. You show me it. Matter of fact, show me 4 guys that hit since he started drafting in 2018. Show me 4.
I said don't get mad this segment.
Was I mad?
It sounded a little mad. What I love is the new inspiration campaign at the Princeton Club. Strong community, strong body, and strong mind. Because you can have it all there. I've talked about how when they have their check-in challenge, they did that in February. It helped feed food pantries across the Milwaukee area and the Madison area. They have initiatives as well. You can also have that strong body by going simply in there to work out with the best equipment in the state. Clean health clubs, free childcare with the membership, and you work out, you get those endorphin flowing, you're going to have yet strong mind. So you combine them all, and you will achieve a better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. No goal is too small or too big. Simply get started at the Princeton Club and find your better tomorrow. Lots of stuff going on in the world of Wisconsin sports. You have Craig Yoho coming up to the Brewers from AAA with a 0.00. Crazy to say, ERA. Damian Lillard upgraded to questionable, and the NFL draft is in Green Bay in 3 short days. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman in 2 minutes continues. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what you need when you've been in a serious truck accident. Call Gruber Law Offices. We've successfully helped people injured by big trucks for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet? Landworks handles projects of all sizes. From a cozy pocket patio lush with greenery to a grand outdoor hosting space and everything in between. Locally owned and operated, Landworks prides themselves on exceptional customer service and a personal approach to all of your landscaping needs. The Landworks team of experts will work closely with you, making your property shine all year. Experience the Landworks difference. Visit landworkswisconsin.com. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman hanging out with you. KBN Nation at 800-990-3776. A lot of reaction on the Carbless Talk and text line. Less is more. Find us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. It's a big week. It's a big week. Damian Lillard upgraded to questionable for the Bucks. The NFL draft is in this state. It is in Wisconsin for the first time since 1939.
Oh,
nailed it, Ben. Let's go.
Where it was in Milwaukee.
Attaboy.
You know where?
Did he say?
What did he say?
The Hilton right up the street.
Who's at the Hilton?
We had Josh from Visit Milwaukee join us, tell us all about what's going on for the draft. There's so much going on. Just know that this is big for the state, bringing people in, and it's going to be exciting. But I want to know how much excitement the Packers are going to captivate with their pick. I already know Brad's just staying. I appreciate you staying firm on your stance, but there's no way if I put a lie detector on you that you truly believe that the Packers are going to take a wide receiver in the first round.
No, I do. I have a deep level of conviction. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but this feels like the year. There's a need.
I like that, Kyle.
Look
at Kyle, Mr. Put money on it guy.
I'll put. Well, what are the odds?
It was plus 700.
Yeah,
I'll do plus.
It was plus 300. It went to plus 700. You're asking for it to get worse before you put more money on it?
Yeah, well, I have a couple bets out that I feel like I'm not going to hit on. So
stop! You know what? Give me your ticket.
Bucks lose game one, and you already. Wait, you have a championship bet and the first round, and you're already saying he's counting his losses already.
I feel okay about the first round. I don't think this team is championship bound anymore.
All it took was one loss after they won 8 straight.
Well, I tried telling you were an idiot.
No, I didn't listen. I didn't put money on that, even with Homer with the great odds.
Do you think? I'm thinking about the draft on Thursday night. We're all going to be there. Do you think the crowd will boo or cheer?
Wide receiver back up to plus 400. You could have grabbed it at plus 700.
Buddy. They're going to cheer or boo?
They're going to cheer. They're going to cheer it because it's Green Bay, it's Packers.
No matter what, even if it's O-line?
Yeah, they'll cheer O-line.
No matter what, you're going to get cheers.
Listen, we are sheep here in Green Bay.
You are sheep.
No, me am a reflection of the Green Bay Packer Nation, is that most of the fans are going to cheer whoever it is. I mean, most people don't even know who it is. They're just going to cheer. Well, yeah. Ooh.
But isn't that the problem? This is why, there's this narrative in Goody we trust. We're just implicitly trusting him. But meanwhile, he has no expectation of them to even contribute.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's shameful that the fact that we don't apply pressure to Goody. But I mean, we don't have an owner who has to worry about pressure.
Pressure's being applied by the results of next year. And if he truly believes that he's got the roster, we're going to see that. Let's hear 2 cuts from Goody, the most impactful ones. Him being asked a question about if his first-round pick needs to make an impact for this team next year.
No, I think you'd love to, but I think a lot of you guys have been around here. It's great when they do, but that's not always the case. And this is the transition to the National Football League is tough. It's not always easy. A lot of times it's really determined by opportunity. You know what I mean? If you take a guy in a
lot of it is determined by opportunity. And see, that I fundamentally disagree, because if you're drafting somebody in the first round, their talent should be good enough to compete at any position outside of quarterback. Otherwise you have a bunch of spots where you need depth and can compete. And like football's based off of if you're better, if you're good enough, you'll find your way onto the field.
I still think it's going to be a wide receiver, but do you think this is Goody tipping his hand? I think he's probably going to go D-line.
No.
Well, before
Goody
we
does
react
not
further, I do want to hear him talk about the wide receiver group because it basically talks about more than the wide receiver group. It gives an insight into his mindset about this overall roster that the Green Bay Packers have.
No, I don't think so. I feel really good about our roster right now. I think that's one of the. It doesn't happen every year. Every year is a little bit different. But if we had to go play next week, I feel really good about our roster and our ability to win and go compete. So, really across the board. So, hopefully as this draft unfolds, we're able to just kind of sit back and select the best players that fall to us. That'll be, I think something we've prepared ourselves to be in. So, no, I don't think we've looked at it really any differently other than certainly if there's an opportunity to take a player at that position that makes sense, we'll do it. But I don't think we feel like we need to do anything.
What is he seeing that we're not seeing? You know what I mean? He's making it sound like they're the most complete team.
Well, I think it is.
We already said. Do y'all want me to read the definition of delusional?
No,
I just want y'all to know this is what delusional is. Delusional is where you think that you're doing something right. You think you know all the answers, when in reality, everybody around you know that you don't have the answers. That's what we're saying.
He had said we are competitive. We can compete all across the board. How do you look all across the board at this roster and say yes?
He said, "I did that. I did that. I did that."
You know how I look at all of my here Brad's outs as my children? And maybe that creates a little bit of a delusional bias toward how good the take is or not. It's just like parents with their own kids. They think their kids are, the best thing that's walking planet Earth, and they're going to be playing in the NFL. They're going to be the movie star. But you look at it and you're like, well, you're not really thinking objectively, right? You're subjectively altered by your relationship with him. I think Goody is of such the belief of his own drafting abilities that the guys that haven't hit, it's not his fault, right? Maybe it's coaching, maybe it's injury, maybe it's something like that. But he is so convinced in his own confidence in drafting that he's like, oh, it's just a matter of time. This team is good. I selected them. It's my team. I remade it. So I'm good. But he can't see it objectively.
Has he looked at these guys after he drafted them and seen them go on to be successful after he drafted them? That would give him some type of validity. See, it wasn't me. We haven't seen that yet. He hasn't drafted enough guys yet. But we haven't seen anybody go on to be. Darnell Savage is the only one. And I don't think anybody.
He went to Jacksonville and he was.
You think Jacksonville's like, boy, we got to steal.
No.
Josh Myers was signed for what, $1 million?
And he's a second-round pick. That just shows you.
Eric Stokes got signed for what, $4 million?
He got signed for less than what you signed a cornerback that you just signed for.
Beads in Milwaukee, you're up on the Carbless Talk and text line. You want to help Kyle out?
I want to help Kyle win some money. Then he can spend $350 on baby girl.
Come on now, help me and baby girl.
All right. They're going to trade up in the draft. They're going to draft a wide receiver, and it's going to be the guy out of Arizona.
Ooh, Tataroa. McMillan. I wish.
Yep.
I wish.
So how does that make him money?
Because he wants me to bet on receiver.
Oh, you parlay on all that, man. You're going to be in the money.
Yeah, but he won't. He'll put $1 on it all because he's scared to do anything.
$1 turns into $25.
If it's that easy, then everyone would do it.
Yeah, it's guessing.
So we think he's going to trade up, which he hasn't done since 2018.
No,
we think he's going to pick a wide receiver, which the franchise hasn't done since 2002. You want to bet on that? You want to listen to Beads?
You know what?
I said $1.
I'm still convinced this is the time. I'm going to reapply the invitation to you guys. This will be the last opportunity that you can join the wide receiver bandwagon. After this moment right now, when Jason Wilde comes on, you can no longer claim that you were ahead of it, calling that Packers would draft the wide receiver. Jump on the bandwagon. Come on and join.
Based off my recent betting record.
Everyone's running for the hills right now.
Based off my betting record, I don't want to frustrate myself and put any of that juju on what you got with the bandwagon. So I'm going to stay away from that bandwagon.
I don't really think it's a bandwagon. It's just a guy pulling a wagon with nothing in it.
I'm like a parade behind me. Come on, everybody, and there's no one behind me.
The problem is if he drafts a wide receiver and it's one that I don't like, then I'm gonna be mad.
What if he drafts a wide receiver?
Oh, you're so petty.
What if he drafts a wide receiver?
You're not an NFL scout analyst / talent evaluator.
We did some research here, and had he listened to me the last couple of drafts.
That's great. It's revisionist history. It could be in a made-up Word document that you just typed.
I will say,
here we go.
If he drafts a wide receiver round 1 and Golden is still there or McMillan and he drafts some D2 guy, I'll be like, oh, I want to take back my my wide receiver thing. That would be such a Goody move, wouldn't it?
No,
it would be.
Listen, I want a wide receiver.
I've said many times I'm not going to be putting my name on something like this. Why?
Hope, Ben.
We're
overdue. We are well overdue.
Overdue and hope.
That's right.
After the man at the combine said they've been drafting defensive philosophy the same way for the last 30 years. After the man said that he's not going to change his philosophy about wide receiver in the first round. Why?
And he said that he thinks this wide receiver group is just fine. He could play next week.
I'll say this though, Brad. If he doesn't draft a receiver in the first round, I'm going to hold my anger unless he passes on Tetaroa McMillan from Arizona. If he passes on him, I'm going to be so upset. But you can find one. If he drafts one in the second round, I will be okay. First round, okay, you don't do it. All right, I'm going to wait to the second round. Now, second round, if you don't draft somebody in the second round, then I'm going to be heated. So he has the first 2 rounds to draft a wide receiver for me before I blow a gasket.
Jason was asking a couple of these questions. That is Jason Wilde, who talked to Goody, also hosted Wilde and Tausch with Gabe Neitzel. Jason Wilde. Let's try not to yell at him today, Kyle. How was Sunday Karma with him yesterday? Good?
It was pleasant. Jason, just don't, just as long as he doesn't say anything crazy or he becomes a Goot stan, which he's not the Goot stan. That's his co-host, who's the Goot apologist and Tauscher. So we should be good today.
We'll see what Jason Wilde has to say after hearing from Brian Gutekunst today in the media. Plus, Kyle Wallace could not have been more wrong about anything in the entire world than he was with the Bucks prediction he had on Friday. We'll hit on all of that coming up. Kyle Brust.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
I'm a tool. My name is Ben Brust, and I'm a tool.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Well, we got a new accident now on 94 eastbound, just past 25th Street. It's actually a disabled vehicle that is partially in the right lane. So that's going to be causing some issues. We got delays coming in from 84th Street. Northbound on 43, right around the North Avenue curve, you'll start to slow down all the way up towards Keefe. Northbound 41, still a hefty ride from Blue Mound Road all the way up past Hampton. A lot of that has to do with road work. And then we have another accident on the ramp from 76th Street to 894 eastbound. Delays going through the Hale interchange to that point. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, isolated showers early, then very windy. Some sun later on with a high of 54. Tomorrow, mostly clear, not as windy, a low of 39. Weather is brought to you by Avondale Roofing. Raise the roof and your standards with Avondale Roofing. Your trusted partner for over 30 years. Remember, they get on top so you don't have to. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
And now, unless there's a big boy trade coming that I don't see on the horizon, Green Bay is going to run this thing back and probably pick up an early round draft pick to add to that room.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And you hope that these other guys will emerge and can add, but I don't see them making a J.R. Ewing type change.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 5.9. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 5.9 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry! These high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit. Pay no interest until 2030, plus $500 off your home improvement project. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
This wasn't how Patrick here in Milwaukee pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, just pretty much hurt doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was to where I am now. I'm gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap. That's because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. The Wolf of Wall Street was on the other day when I was flipping through channel. Great family film.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
I'm a naturally inquisitive person.
Holding everybody accountable.
If you feel better about that, I'm happy to do so.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Ben Brust, Kyle Walsh, Brad Nortman, no Alex Strofe. He's up in Green Bay. So we have Chris Larson in his place running the show. Joining us right now is Jason Wilde of Wilde and Tausch. Jason, lots of information out there from Goody's press conference and clips being sent to me. I want to get through it all with you. So let's jump right in. How are you?
Good. How are you? Let's go.
Doing well. I guess the thing that is frustrating Kyle most is hearing Goody talk about how he doesn't expect a first-round pick to contribute right away. Can you talk him off the ledge?
Well, I know Kyle is doing well, but why is he not doing well with that statement? Why does that bother you?
Because it sets the bar extremely too low, and when you look at the first-round picks that he has had, these guys aren't contributing year one, and that's hurting this football team. But then even more than that, they're not developing down the road the way that you need it. When you look at other organizations, I know the Detroit Lions, they've drafted a lot of guys high, but those guys have turned into cornerstone or foundational players. You even look at like the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of those guys have turned into contributors. So when you set the bar as, no, we don't need them to contribute, when you have holes on the defensive line, you have holes at cornerback, you have holes at wide receiver, you need to find somebody who can actually contribute right away. You don't want to have back-to-back-to-back years where you're drafting somebody and you're basically getting no production from them in year one.
Yeah, I would say the second half of what you said there, though, is the disconcerting part, right? Like, they've made the playoffs each of the last 2 years with Lucas Van Ness having a minimal impact 2 years ago, with Jordan Morgan having minimal impact last year. That doesn't bother me, but if I'm a Packers fan, the second half of what you said, which I think is a very valid criticism, is the problem, right? They paid, let's go back to 2019, right? 2018 was Goody's first draft. He took Jair. He's been an all-pro twice. Regardless of the situation with him now, the dude came in, contributed right away, and played at a high level, and has been a very good player for them when he's on the field. There's no denying that. 19, they have 2 first-round picks. Rashawn Gary, very limited production as a rookie. Darnell Savage starts as a rookie, but never develops, to the second half of your point. And they paid Rashawn Gary, but to what degree Rashawn Gary has emerged and developed as an elite pass rusher, he hasn't gotten to that level yet. 2020 is Jordan Love. We all know how long it took, what the process was for him to become a starter. 2021, Eric Stokes started a bunch of games as a rookie, didn't develop into a very good player. He had injury issues, I get it, but there's a reason why he took a 1-year prove-it deal with the Raiders and why the Packers made no effort to re-sign him. 2022, Quay Walker was an opening day starter. I think he started every game as a rookie that he wasn't getting kicked out of. But again, where is his development at? I may die on this hill, but I am a believer that he was turning the corner last year. I was writing a story for my preview series on him at the linebacker position, and if you look at how he played against San Francisco and then Miami on Thanksgiving, I think a light bulb had gone on. Unfortunately, a couple weeks later, he hurts his ankle. But it's interesting, Goody did say, one of the things that jumped out today is that both he and Devontae Wyatt are guys that they want in 2026 and beyond. So it sounds, based on what Goody said, that they're not necessarily going to give them the fifth-year option. Instead, they want to get extensions done with both of them. So
that's a
surprise to me, Jason.
Well, it's not that surprising because it could also just be built out the same way he's building out all these contracts, where it's just like a 2-year front load.
Right, and so they would get probably a little bit more money than the fifth-year option would be worth for each of them, but they would have longer control, and then if they pop, they're under contract already, and if they stink, yeah, you paid a little bit more in the short term, but you're not carrying one of them with like a $15 million cap number this year and another one with a $12 million cap number this year. So that, but I think
Jason, you just said something I think that is so key. Me and Brad looked at each other. If they pop, we're talking about year 4 popping. Like, how long does it take how long are we supposed to give these guys? This was college football. You're talking about we're gonna wait till the red shirt senior year, 5th year.
Well, if this was college football, they probably would have transferred twice already. But that's a fair critique. There's no doubt about it. Now, is it a lot easier to get guys that pop when you're drafting 5th or 8th or 11th?
Yeah. Or 13th.
As opposed to Quay Walker was 22nd, Devontae Wyatt was 28th or 29th.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit different there. But no, look, the criticism of Lucas Van Ness is extremely fair. I mean, he's the 13th overall pick. The guy that went 2 picks later in the pick swap to the Jets.
10.5.
Will McDonald, 10.5 sacks. The pride of Pulaski High School in Milwaukee, and then was it Waukesha North after that?
I think it was Waukesha North.
So my point is that your critique is not unfair, but to me the bigger issue is at what point do these guys develop? I don't have a problem with guys not contributing right away. I have a big problem with guys not becoming really good players, because that's the point of being a first-round pick. And so I don't think you're off base there. I just wouldn't be bothered by, if they draft an edge rusher and suddenly, both Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness play to the level that they should as first-round picks, to the level that the Smith brothers did in 2019, right? They didn't need Rashawn Gary that year because Preston and Za'Darius Smith were awesome as pass rushers. So again, that is not a concern for me, but I do think this, and I think we all need to come to grips with this, that when Goody says stuff about, we have everything we need with the pass rush, or how good he feels about the wide receivers, I don't think that's just saying nice things about the guys on his team anymore. I thought that maybe that was it, but he had a line today, and I don't know if Wooly clipped it or not, but I just got done typing it into my story, and that is, if we had to go play next week, I feel really good about our roster.
I feel like I played it 10 times because I can't get over that. Mostly because it told me, and I think you have the same takeaway, is he's not blowing smoke. I think this man truly believes, based off his quote in the question that you asked him at the end of the season, and now doubling down now, that the guys in the building and the guys on the roster, he truly believes there's enough.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question, Ben. Like, I had been maybe in that crowd of saying, well, I think I said it to you guys, well, what the hell is he going to say? Right? You didn't sign a free agent pass rusher, so you kind of have to say, we feel we can get it done with the guys we've already got on the team. Right? You got to say that because that's all you got on the team. Now, again, actions matter, and he had a bunch of edge rushers that came in for visits, and some of them our first-round talents that he may pick. The Georgia kid, Mikael Williams, Shamar Stewart, and his 9.99 RAS score, which Goody says they don't use that. Which
he has his own. I was told he has his own score that they put together.
Which again, right? Which again was I was kind of like, so you don't use that specific mathematical equation, but I was glad that he expounded, because when he first said that, I was like, oh no, come on, we all know that you care about that stuff. But I guess my point is that he clearly does believe that, because otherwise you don't keep blowing this smoke, right? Like, notice what he said about Jair, right? He definitely curtailed his answer about him now. Now it's, well, he's on the roster right now. Like, he finally said what usually people say, as opposed to his proclamation that if he's not going to be helping us win games, then we'd like to get something in return for him because we've invested a lot in him. Like, to me, that was more interesting to get a glimpse into. Okay, they're done with him. It's just a matter of how, not when. Whereas the other stuff, he really does believe in what he's got on his roster already.
Jason, I want to go back to the comment about the first-round draft pick contributing. You mentioned that you're okay with one maybe necessarily not having a big contribution round one or year one. But don't you think they need to? Because Goody has elected to craft this team on an ongoing basis as a young roster. So if you're a young roster, that means you got to play now. And even I believe it was Ron Wolf that said, only 1.6 guys per draft class get that second contract.
No, that's Goody that said that.
Oh, Goody said that. So even more so, that the guys you're going to have for the long term are very few. So those first 4-ish years of your contract, they're critical. So don't you think with a young team plus a sense of urgency, don't you think you would expect more contribution out of a first round draft pick?
I mean, he does go on to say that you would love for that to be the case. Right, he does say the transition to the National Football League is tough. It's not always easy. Most of the time, a guy's impact his rookie year comes down to the opportunities that he had more than anything. So, look, if he's drafted at wide receiver, let's say they draft McMillan, right?
I wish, McMillan. Boy, I'll go crazy.
Yeah, let's just use that as you know what you'd be doing. You'd be doing well. Sure. But let's say it's him. Right? You don't know when you're going to have Watson back. You got questions about Romeo Dobbs. Like, he could come in and play right away and have a huge impact, right? Especially since you'd have to trade up to get him. But, looking at where they're at on their team, I don't think if you drafted a linebacker, he'd play right away. We know who their starting 5 offensive linemen are. Defensive line, yeah, you could probably get a guy that could play right away, but not necessarily a requirement. Running back, you don't need. Quarterback, you don't need. Safety, you definitely don't need. And while you might want a guy that could come in and start day one at corner, I think they really like Hobbs. That's why they paid him. They really like Nixon, and they really like Valentine. So if those are your 3 corners, and then you got this bunch of safeties along with your first team All-Pro in Xavier McKinney, like, I don't look at their roster and say they got to get a guy that plays day one at this position. I don't see that. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't have improvements to make on their offense or on their defense or on their roster as a whole. I'm not saying that. I'm not on board with if they lined up with this group. If Goodell showed up and said, "Hey, in exchange for putting the draft in your little podunk town, you don't get to pick any players," I don't think that would be good for them. I'm not on board with Goody's position that they could win, that they could be a Super Bowl team if they don't add anything in the draft. But we have seen guys, it doesn't have to be the first-round pick. Edgerrin Cooper wasn't a first-round pick. There's no denying the impact he had. Evan Williams was a 4th-round pick. There's no denying the impact he had.
Totally agree. The likelihood is, based off trends, that there's a better opportunity in the first round, but he's done well in the later rounds, as of recent.
Right. So my point is that that's not the part that would get me bent out of shape about Goody and anything he said today. I think the part that would bother me as a Packers fan is the point that Kyle made.
Yeah, and I want to stick there, Jason. As Jason Wilde's with us on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, you mentioned the development, and we've gone through a couple of the guys from 18 to 19 to 20 to 21. What do you like? As somebody who's been around the team for this long, like what do you attribute that to? Like the coaching or the talent?
I mean, it's the answer is always both.
Of course,
right? I mean, that's always the primary. That's the first thing that anybody would say. But I would say that there have been players that have played a lot in their first 2-3 seasons, right, from the 22 and 23 draft classes in particular. And then you've got the 2020 and 2021 classes that each have one guy left in Jordan Love and Isaiah McDuffie. But I would say they've missed on picks. Just because guys play a lot doesn't mean they're good, right? They may have some production because they play a lot, but that doesn't mean they're good or special. And so, from a developmental standpoint, like, that's why I just think this year is such a crucial year. I think it's crucial for Goody and LaFleur, obviously, but, look, I know Jordan Love does not lack for confidence, and I understand he dealt with some injuries last year. I'm not discounting those. But one of the things that I like best about Jordan is that he's not a finger pointer or a spread the blame around guy. Mm-hmm. And even with the drops, he would say, hey, look, I was not accurate enough this season, and I made it even harder for those guys. So I look at him as a guy who, when I say he's got to play better than he has, I don't feel like I'm disrespecting him at all. I feel like I'm saying the same thing that he would say, that he's got to be more mobile, he's got to be more accurate, he's got to make some more big plays. And so he's a guy that, but he's not the only one either, right? These wide receivers that they have on this team, they have to make a jump. Luke Musgrave has to make a jump. Like, these are guys that have been here and been on this roster now for 3.
How many guys can jump?
Yeah, that's a lot of hope and jumps, don't you think, Jason?
It's
for
not
this
though.
year?
I think that, I mean, Brad, you played in the league. Like, sometimes the light goes on at different times for different. And believe me, I'm not a Goody apologist here, right? And Musgrave.
Most of the time, you can see it though, Jason.
But I think we saw it with Musgrave. Like with Musgrave, for example, the issue has been staying healthy, right? I mean,
Correct.
he lacerates his kidney, he breaks his ankle. Okay, with Wicks, I think we've definitely seen glimpses of it, and I give him credit because he was the guy who was dropping passes at an alarming rate. And if you look at the numbers in the second half of the season, he fixed it.
Yeah,
whereas
Jaden Reed ended up being the consistent problem.
Right. So my point is that, as you well know, yes, you certainly want to be making strides year 1, year 2, but I bet you were a better punter in year 3 than you were in year 2 or year 1, right? And so, look, I'm not saying these guys all suck either. Like, they've all had, we've seen great moments from Jaden Reed. We've seen great moments from Luke Musgrave when he's not tripping over his legs like he's Bambi. We've seen those moments from Wicks, but they have to happen a heck of a lot more for them to get to where they want to go.
Yeah, I mean, the consistency is going to be a big thing, and I think you've said it a lot, and I keep using it. It is a pivotal year for Jordan Love and an interesting year for Goody and LaFleur together. We appreciate the time. It's just day 1 of NFL Draft Week. We'll be hearing you all week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Are you joining us live on Thursday, Jason?
I mean, I've considered the possibility. What are you going to sweeten the pot in any way for me, or am I just going out of
if just coming to see me out of love is too much for you, Jason, then I'll talk to you over the phone.
No, I think we've got all kinds of stuff going on. Let me put it this way. It is my intent to join you in person, but I need to get from the Tundra Trio back home for a little while before I head back to the stadium. So I will do everything I can to make sure that I see you in person and that you tell me that you're doing well.
I expect nothing less than that. Thank you, Jason.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde with tons of insight, as this is only day 1, and there are so many things to dissect and talk about.
He was good.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Anytime he agrees with me is good.
I was going to say, that's why it was good. I was like, because he's like, oh, yeah, Kyle, your second part about development. Let's dive a little deeper. Yeah. Is it the talent or is it the coaching? Is it Goody's problem or is it LaFleur's problem that these first-round picks have not developed the way that people think they should? Next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
We were going to extend more invites, but I just jumped the gun for some reason at the meeting because I thought I was being like funny and personable, and I just don't know how to read the room. I was like, oh, this guy who doesn't know me, he's going to think it's hilarious that I'm with Josh, and I'm saying, hey, Josh, you didn't get the first round invite. Suck it.
In what world would that person find that funny, though?
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Northbound on 41. We've got backups from about Blue Mound Road all the way up to almost Hampton. There's a lot of road work going on there, so we've got a lane down, and so that's why we're getting a little bit of a heavier ride there. Southbound, we are slowing down from before Hampton down past Capitol Drive. Northbound on 43, slowing from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Tee off at Lake Lawn Resort Majestic Oaks Golf Course, 18 holes lakeside in Delavan. Whether you're a pro or just starting, it's the perfect course. Book your tee time today at lakelawnresort.com. And checking the TMJ for Storm King forecast tonight. Mostly clear, not as windy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, chance for midday showers, maybe some thunder, a high of 53 at the lakefront, 60 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, Carbless Mango Vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4-packs of the new Carbless Mango Vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
Bev Anderson has a big idea she wants to share.
Bev has been here for 24 years.
Hi, Bev. We're anxious to hear your idea.
Kessler's is 45 years old this year. Monica, remember when your dad used to say in every radio ad, "I'm Richard Kessler, and I want to be your jeweler"?
I never got to hear that.
Yeah, and then Rick would say,
Kessler's Diamonds, inconveniently located on Appleton Avenue, Menominee Falls.
Inconveniently?
Richard said it was inconvenient for people to have to drive all the way to Menominee Falls, so he might as well admit it.
Bev, tell us your idea.
Richard said something else in almost every ad, and I think we should start saying it again because it's really important.
Tell us.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
I love that.
Fantastic idea, Bev.
Kessler's Diamonds.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Whether tailgating or hosting at home, don't serve boring, bland food. As the official grill of the Green Bay Packers, Pit Boss brings the heat with a wide range of wood pellet grills, smokers, and hardwood pellet fuel. Reach another level of flavor that can't be achieved with a charcoal or gas grill, and it's beyond easy. Seriously, Pit Boss grills get cooking with just a few simple steps. Grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, char grill, barbecue, and direct flame sear. The all-in-one Pit Boss does it all. Learn more today at pitboss-grills.com.
They say seeing is believing. And when you check out what's waiting for you at American Place Casino, you'll definitely believe you'll love it. From thrilling gaming to top-notch service, we're changing the game. Come play all your favorites like blackjack, craps, roulette, and the latest slots. Catch a game at the sportsbook, enjoy great restaurants, bars, and more. If you're ready for excitement, exceptional service, and an experience you'll never forget, then we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I think that I found myself a cheerleader. She is always right there when I need her. Oh, I think that I found myself a
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. UKVN Nation at 800-990-3776, the Carbless Talk and Text line. I do find this an interesting exercise. Looking back at the first round picks, since 2018, I would give him a hot start with Jair Alexander and Rashawn Gary, despite the fact that at the time, Rashawn Gary was drafted the same year that they signed Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith. Didn't get a lot of tick, but obviously got his opportunities and worked his way into getting paid. He got hurt, hasn't been the same since. Darnell Savage, never really developed. They picked up his fifth-year option. He was no good, and he didn't go on to have a, we missed this guy career.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love we talked about. This is where it starts to get interesting. Eric Stokes.
Miss.
Quay Walker.
Meh.
Still
okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and I like Quay.
Quay's the guy that like Jason described as he's productive because he just plays a lot. Like he's all right.
There's a guy that got drafted after him. I don't want to go too deep into names. A guy named Devin Lloyd that got drafted after him in that draft. Already got it, or they're talking about an extension with him, right? They want him.
Devontae Wyatt. Glimpses, flashes.
Yeah, okay.
Lucas Van Ness. I can't even say glimpses and flashes.
He's there.
And Jordan Morgan, TBD. So really the conversation became, it's more of the, if you're not going to have these guys have a strong impact in the first round, what do they look like on their roster 3 to 4 years down the road? And is it a talent thing or do you put it on the floor?
To me, it's talent. I mean, I'll mostly look at the players, being in a locker room and
because it's not like LaFleur hasn't won football games.
Well,
He's winning football games with all the talent that Goody's providing him. I just don't. I'm with you. I look at there's enough evidence to say it's the player now.
Yeah.
How many times have we found 3-4 to 4-3? Now it's. I can't fall for it. It's the second year of the 4-3 under Jeff Hafley. Like, how many times are we going to fall for this guy's going to do this now that this is happening?
Forever.
I mean, you're right, because when you look at it, I mean, it's not like high school or even college football where the coaching staff is teaching them technique and stuff. Like, these are pros. The coaches focus on scheme and matchups and things like that it's like heady level NFL. But when it comes to beating your man, when it comes to improving route running, when it comes to the one player could be Jordan Love. Like, Matt LaFleur might truly be able to help Jordan Love. This is what you're supposed to look at. This is how you read defenses. That's the one. But everybody else...
This is why we're going to run this play.
Yes.
Their tendencies are X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, because being a quarterback is like being a half a coach, right? With game planning and stuff. But everybody else, it's speed and strength. It's form that you should know by now. It is making yourself a better player. These guys aren't being taught technique and whatnot. Like, you should know that already. Or if you don't have that and you want to improve, all these guys go off in the offseason to get specific individual coaching. So it's on the players. The coaches are going to say, we are going to drop you in the right spot, and then you got to go win. And these guys are not winning. Now, maybe they weren't always dropped in the right spot. Maybe Joe Barry's defense was not putting everyone in the right spot. But I know I'm of the belief that Matt LaFleur and Jeff Hafley, generally speaking, are putting these guys in the right spot to say, okay, you have the matchup. We have what we want. Now you got to go win. You can't teach a D end how to beat a left tackle. That dude either knows how to do it, he has the speed and strength and will and technique to do it, or he doesn't. And if he doesn't do it, he needs to go find ways to do it. It's not on the coaches to teach you form and things like that at a granular level. This is the NFL. You don't do that.
Yeah, I think it's talent. Ben, you mentioned earlier, you talked about Josh Myers. If Josh Myers was so talented, he wouldn't have got such a low contract, right? If Eric Stokes was so talented, he wouldn't have got such a low contract, right? And so when I look at this football team, it comes down to Goody just didn't draft good enough talent. Xavier McKinney was good with the New York Giants. They just foolishly decided to move on from him, right? And you got a guy that showed you he has a lot of talent. And so coaching does matter, but at the end of the day, you got to give the coach the good enough ingredients for him to cook up something great with these guys. But unfortunately, what we're seeing is we're just seeing guys who just have not hit. You deal with injury type history as well. And when we talk about talent versus coaching, which Jair Alexander, before he got injured and had some of those problems, They were fine coaching him up. We talked about when Rashawn Gary did pop out that 1 year. He was coaching helped them in that point, so we can't pick and choose when we want to say coaching sucks. Jordan Love is great, but then when a guy is a bust, they say, well, it's the coach's fault he's a bust. No, it comes down to you getting the coach somebody who can actually be coached up into being a talented player.
All right, then what level of confidence do you have in Goody coming up into this Thursday draft? 800-990-3776. Plus, if you missed it, the Bucks did not win game one, but that wasn't even the story on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
What are you going to do with the video?
It was going to be on Snapchat if I got the pick right.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
I-94 rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the Crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
According to American writer H.L. Mencken, a well-stocked bar can create over 17 billion different cocktails. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. I don't know if 17 billion is accurate or not, but I do know that Discount Liquor is the place to find everything you need to be well-stocked for any occasion. Discount Liquor is Wisconsin's home to over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,500 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines. Our unparalleled selection is rivaled only by our incredible savings and everyday low prices. And we know how to take care of our customers, no matter the occasion. In fact, Discount Liquor has won numerous national and local awards. Visit Discount Liquor at our Milwaukee or Waukesha locations. Family owned and operated since 1960.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
In Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow. Check out our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
During draft week, make the ultimate pick your child's future. Bet on their success with Advest 529, Wisconsin's direct soul college savings plan. Here's the play. Open an Advest 529 account now until April 27th with just $25, and Advest will match it with $25. That's right. Save $25, get $25. The clock is ticking. Don't miss your shot to score a brighter future. Open your account before April 27th to score your bonus. Go to advest.com/draft25 to lock in your $25 bonus today.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
A weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tune into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Marcus and his son Chris, a 1995 UCLA Hoops champ himself, talk about everything happening in the Bucks world and are joined by some of the biggest names in basketball. Plus, they'll answer your questions too. Stay on the beat of the Bucks and find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Speaking of those Milwaukee Bucks, Damian Lillard upgraded to questionable.
Hey.
Bucks and 6.
Yeah.
Brad Nortman is already doubting their ability to get out of the first round.
I think first round, I still have hope. Now, my bet with Homer to win the whole thing.
You should have handed him the 20 when he said to.
I might. No, I'm going to maintain it.
No, he's not going to let you buy out now. He gave you an opportunity. Kyle Wallace is very optimistic about the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, I am.
You said, quote, you're not concerned.
No, I'm not concerned at all.
Well, I don't know if we should listen to a damn word that you said, because this is what you said before game 1 of the Bucks Pacers.
Side their damn mind.
Mark it. Listen, Kyle's best bet. My best bet is that Kyle Kuzma goes out there and plays a big role tomorrow.
What quantify that?
3 threes tomorrow.
3 threes.
3 whole.
I bet you the over-under's probably 1.5, and it doesn't even go up to 2.5.
Kyle Kuzma tomorrow is going to score 17 plus points.
All right.
17
All right, let's do this. Go.
17 plus points for Kyle Kuzma tomorrow.
Wow.
They AI me, bro.
No.
Damn, what audio AI Strofe is so good with AI in me. That is crazy.
You saw your boy's stat line, right?
22 minutes, 0 of 5 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, 0 of 2 from the free throw.
Yeah, he was bad,
no
man.
rebounds, no assists, steals, blocks, turnovers. That is what we call a 22 trillion.
Yeah.
The worst performance in playoff history ever.
That was awful.
Per minutes played.
That's awful.
Was it really?
It was so awful.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Watching the game, you can
Kyle Wallace had him at 17 points and 3 threes.
That was AI me.
No, that was you.
No, I misspoke. I meant to say in the series. I said tomorrow.
Are you doubling down on Kyle Kuzma?
I'm doubling down. He going to have 17 points in the series? Yeah.
I'll take the under.
The whole series.
In the whole series.
Oh, I see.
I said tomorrow, like starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Starting tomorrow.
Chris, play that one again.
Series.
I think it was pretty clear what you'd said.
Side their damn mind.
Mark it. Listen, Kyle's best bet. My best bet is that Kyle Kuzma goes out there and plays a big role tomorrow.
What quantify that?
3 threes tomorrow.
3 threes.
3 whole.
I bet you the over-under's
Yeah, great job, buddy. So why do you feel so confident and not concerned?
I mean, listen, the Bucks can't be that bad. They can't be. Like, it can't be. Giannis seemed to be, he was aggressive early on, and then kind of, nobody was gelling. They didn't play great defense. It just looked disjointed. Like, if that's the Milwaukee Bucks team that we have, like, is this what we expect and we suck, they might as well blow it up. But I truly believe that the Bucks are going to bounce back.
Who do you believe in outside of Giannis?
Listen, Kyle Kuzma can't be that awful. And Taurean Prince can't be that awful. Like, all these guys, Brook Lopez even just chucking up them threes quickly in the shot clock. Like, the Bucks are going to find a better rhythm, and so I feel confident. I feel good about it. Still Bucks and 6.
Benny, do you remember when you had a streak where you were, like, cursing all the bets that you went into? I feel like Kyle is on that streak now, and I'm concerned about the Bucks' first round bet that you and I both
problem
did,
is
he was 0 for 7.
You guys had this conversation on Friday, and I was going to pull my hair out listening to you guys try and like hype up the Milwaukee Bucks into something that they're not. Now you're trying to still believe in your bet by saying it's Kyle's fault.
Yeah,
I think I have enough evidence with my eyes that I'm a little bit more than concerned about their ability, even with Dame, to win this series. They are who we thought they were. They're not that good.
Listen, you weren't saying all that on Friday. You thought the Bucks could get out of the first round on Friday.
I had said that I thought Giannis, my whole thing was I thought Giannis had the ability to beat the Pacers by himself.
Yeah, you said that.
And then I saw him go against the Pacers by himself, and he can't do it by himself.
We're going to see. I'm not going to overreact after one game because last year at the Milwaukee Bucks, when Dame hit 35 points in the first half and Bucks went up 1-0 in that series, a lot of people around here were very, very confident in the Milwaukee Bucks, and we went on to lose that series in 6. Granted, Dame did get hurt. So I'm not going to sit here and overreact to one game. Everybody just calm down. Let's see what happens game 2. If they get smacked again in game 2, well, then there'll be some cause for concern. But right now, hey, calm down. Just let's see what happens tomorrow before we start jumping.
What's your
shit.
big prediction for tomorrow?
I am not AI. Listen, they AI me and they have me sound stupid. My big prediction for tomorrow is that everybody goes out there and both teams have fun.
You're
gosh,
a radio
that
host.
is
You're supposed to
lame.
tell people, based off your knowledge as a
KBN
season ticket
Nation,
holder, what you think's going to happen.
Just in case Brad is right that everything I touch turns into coal right now or sucks, I am not predicting anything that is good with my teams. I'm refusing to do it.
Make a prediction that like Halliburton goes for 35 and 10 assists and curse that side of the team, not the
I'll
Bucks.
make a prediction that Halliburton keep running his mouth. He ain't going to be able to show his face in Milwaukee no more. I'll tell you that much.
Wow.
Oh, you're not going to do anything.
Yeah, tough.
I'm saying, not me. I'm
guy.
talking about the city. He disrespecting the state that he from. My little cousin.
How is he disrespecting the state?
Jaw jacket talking trash like
That's
bro,
just
chill.
competition.
No, I ain't competition. It's too much.
They beat the Bucks last year. They are a little front running.
He said,
but
y'all
if they
suck.
beat,
He said, y'all suck.
If they beat the Bucks again, how are you going to be like, you're not welcome in the city? He did what he's supposed to do.
We're sore losers.
I'm a sore loser, so I can respect that. Jim, Matt, and Molly are up next in Madison. Corey and Wally in the Damn Sports Show in Beaver Dam. A little birdie told me Alex Strofe took a 2-hour nap, and now he wants to join in the 414 hour at 4. Do I allow that?
He must have the hottest takes. Hottest ever 2-hour nap.
Dude took a nap. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Isn't it in the middle of the
Last time you took
workday?
a nap during the middle of the day.
What the hell?
We're back in 2 minutes. Just what my sources are telling me.
Crashes to deal with right now. First of all, 894 southbound at Lincoln. This one has the 3 left lanes blocked right now, so watch for the delays to start stretching back into the Zoo interchange. We have another accident on northbound 43, the Rock Freeway, just past just before Sunny Slope Road on the left shoulder. Not in traffic, and it looks like traffic is getting past it without much of an issue. Northbound 43 slowing down from just before Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. Southbound slowing down from Keefe down to about Burleigh, and then again from Fond du Lac down through the Marquette and onto the high-rise bridge. Northbound on 41, slow from Blue Mound Road all the way up past Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly clear, not as windy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, chance for midday showers, maybe some thunder, a high of 53 at the lake, 60 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Turn up the volume and turn up the flavor with Tequila Mi Campo. Tequila made for those who choose to live louder. Just like a draft day pick in Green Bay, Mi Campo is the bold choice that brings excitement and anticipation to every moment. Mi Campo is crafted for utterly in-your-face flavor, made with 100% Blue Weber agave, aged in wine barrels for incredibly smooth taste. Ready for however you like to turn it up. Mi Campo. Live louder. Please enjoy responsibly. 2025, imported by Mi Campo Spirits, Canandaigua, New York. Tequila, 40% alcohol by volume.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We them boys. We making noise.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on KBN.
Wallace, I'm Ben Brust alongside Brad Nortman. Chris Larson running the show. Awake from his nap in his 3-day move to a new apartment is Alex Strofe. Good morning.
Good morning, sunshine.
Hey, Strophy, feel rested up?
What are you talking about?
You sound a little loopy. You have a bad dream?
Yeah.
Where is this rumor coming from? I didn't take a nap.
That's what
I had heard when you got back from your Strofe strolls that you laid down.
I got back from my strolls 10 minutes ago. What are you talking about?
That's not what I heard.
Did you dream the Strofe strolls?
No, I was actually fighting some ants at one point.
Now, what do you mean fighting? Well,
Fighting some ants?
No, knowing Strofe, he probably
He probably lost.
Yeah.
He probably lost to the ants.
Yeah, the
No,
college
I won. I mean, shout out to Raid Spray. I was able to take care of the ants. But, yeah, I mean, no, I've been a very productive man this afternoon. No naps yet. Maybe a nap later, but no nap now. I don't know where you're getting this information from. Bad sources similarly to the ones in Ireland.
That's to be determined, Mr. Strofe. I got that date right on September 28th. Now, if the Steelers keep a home game against the Packers, then I might be wrong.
I don't know how good your sources are.
No, the sources are good. I know Roger Goodell personally, and he let me know that there's a potential. And I was like, I'm gonna go run
Your
with this.
Your source
Raj.
is the date, not the team.
Well, I put both teams.
Well, he did put the teams. Yeah.
But that was already rumored. I did get the date, and at the end of the day, I'm still a Big J journalist.
So, real quick, fellas, I've been out and about, man of the people, you know me, strolling the streets of old Green Bay, the old 920 area code.
Energy of draft week is already exhausting.
Oh, yeah, I'm fired up, I'll tell you what. But I haven't been able to listen to the entirety of the show. Did we talk about Kyle getting old takes exposed yet?
Yes, we just did, Kyle. He claims he was AI'd and it was your fault.
Hell of a job.
For those who missed it, this was funny. Kyle Wallace. If Chris still has it up, Chris, thumbs up if you do. Kyle Wallace on the Kyle Kuzma prediction of Game 1 against the Pacers.
Side their damn mind.
Market, listen, Kyle's best bet. My best bet is that Kyle Kuzma goes out there and plays a big role tomorrow.
What do you quantify that?
3 threes tomorrow.
3 threes. I bet you the over-under's probably 1.5, and it doesn't even go up to 2.5.
Kyle Kuzma tomorrow is going to score 17-plus points.
All right, let's do this. Go.
17-plus points for Kyle Kuzma tomorrow.
Clay.
And Kyle Kuzma played like AI Kyle thought he would. The Bucks would be up 1-0 in the series.
I don't know if he scored 17 if they'd still.
You want to know what's crazy about that? Kyle Kuzma was closer to scoring negative 16 points than he was 17 actual points.
That is deep.
Yeah,
but I thought
mathematically accurate.
Didn't we have a conversation about negatives and 0 not being?
Zero's not a real number, I don't think. What was the word you used, Brad?
Integer.
What was that word again?
It's an integer.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Is negative 16 an integer?
It is indeed. It's still a whole number.
Nice.
But whole negative number. Wait. Is an integer a negative number? And
here we go. Strofe
comes back. Now we're talking about integers.
It's so good to be back. I missed you guys.
So I want to, as part of my
yes, a negative number is an integer.
As part of my due process here, Strofe. Myself, Kyle Wallace, and Brad Nortman have all reacted to Brian Gutekunst's press conference, and when asked about a first-round pick contributing to this roster if it's necessary, he had said no right away. Snap no. Right away. And then he proceeded to talk about opportunity, if it works out where they draft the guy. I don't know. And then we talked to Jason about the development of some of these first-round picks and how it hasn't been that great either. What did you take from that? Kyle's upset, and I'm actually giving him an okay this week to be upset as a Packer.
Thanks. I have okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ben.
I was going to say that's the first. Okay. My reaction was this, fellas. It is the fact that, maybe Brian Gutekunst is becoming self-aware, right? I always preach self-awareness, the most important human quality. His first-round picks haven't contributed in their first year ever. ever, right? What did Jordan Morgan do last year? He sat on the bench and split snaps for a couple games, and he was hurt. What did Lucas Van Ness do in his rookie year? Jack squat. What did Jordan Love do in his rookie year? He wasn't on the active roster at all. So maybe he's just becoming self-aware that he can't pick an instant contributor in the first round. Now, when it comes to the rounds outside of the first, he has picked some instant contributors, right? Think about Christian Watson.
Would you agree, though, that although that is a success, it's much easier to build more success if you're hitting on where the best talent typically rises from the first round?
Ben, I'm not saying he's right.
No,
I'm just.
You said he's self-aware. Self-awareness leads.
Self-aware that he stinks at picking first-round picks. Yes.
Who's more stubborn, Goody or Strofe?
Oh boy,
Goody. It's hard to imagine somebody more.
I mean, Strofe is pretty.
I'm not that stubborn.
It almost sounds like you're defending him because there is no.
He's doing it in one of my favorite words, in jest here.
He's trying to convince
you exactly, in jest.
That he doesn't need to be hitting his first round draft picks. It's like there's a huge part of his job.
This is what, again, Strofe, this is what I deal with. They get so bogged up in their emotion.
About it feels like insensitive.
It is insensitive. My emotions are nothing to play around with, Alex Strofe. And this is what I'm upset. You were at the press conference, weren't you? Or no, you couldn't go because of your show.
I was not at the press conference.
I wish somebody would have asked him a follow-up question when he said that this team, can compete and he can trot them out there next week and feel confident. I wish somebody would have said, so you feel confident they can win a Super Bowl? That's all I want. I just want to hear him say yes.
And his answer would have been yes, Kyle, because he's stubborn and he might be lying. Yeah, he might be lying, but his answer would be yes. Now the thing is, to your point, guys, right? Like. This is the same guy that a couple months ago ended his end of season press conference, said this is a team that needs to start competing for championships. And being the youngest team in the National Football League, you need your top pick to be an instant contributor, whether that's a receiver, whether that's an edge rusher, whether that's a corner, no matter what position you go for, that guy needs to be an instant contributor on this team if they're going to live up to the expectations that guy set, which was that they start competing for championships in 2025.
So we're all singing Kumbaya here, Kyle.
Yeah, we're singing Kumbaya, but I'm still mad because when you said that, Strofe, I think about all his first-round picks. He has not had one first-round pick that did not come with any type of drama or any type of story. Whether you're looking at Jair Alexander with injuries, or you're looking at Rashawn Gary with injuries, or you're looking at Jordan Love, we're trying to figure out if he is the guy. He does not have one cool, calm first-round pick where you just say, yep, it hasn't been rocky, no drama there. What the hell?
I'll still give him Jair. Jair was a two-time All-Pro.
I would also give him Jair.
He's been his best draft pick.
But listen, y'all know I like Jair, but still, Jair has dealt with injuries. Basically, I want to say since
you're not wrong, but I don't know what you want me to say to that.
I'm just saying.
You're pointing out a fact.
Can we just have somebody that comes in and plays?
You're just saying I want a first-round pick that comes in, plays. Second contract.
Yeah,
don't have to decide like Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt how we're going to keep them around on a front-loaded extension or a fifth-year option.
Everybody got a damn issue.
It really is crazy that not one of his draft picks is not without like. There's no
questioning their
product. Word in that brain, Brad.
It's been 8 years, and there's not been one draft pick that everybody agrees. Oh yeah, well this dude's a stud. He's available. What would this team be like without him? Not one, because even some Jordan Love people are not terribly convinced that he's the guy. But not one guy in 8 years that you look at and say, stud, all-pro, couldn't be without him.
I think you have to give him credit on Jair. You got to give him credit on Jair. He had 4 or 5 really good seasons.
You're missing the whole point. Jair Alexander, I believe in his career, either year 2 or year 3, Jair Alexander had injury issues early on in his career.
Injuries and drama.
Yeah, and so like I'm saying is that, Jair is talented. Rashawn Gary is talented, but they all have some type of drama that comes along with them. It's a roller coaster with these guys. Just give me somebody that gets drafted, plays hard, and has no drama, no injuries, no off-the-field issue, I just want somebody just to be normal. Nobody here is normal.
You want another Brian Balog?
Hold on a minute.
But Brian Balog has injuries.
So slow down a minute. Hold on. Kyle Wallace, of all people, is the one in this panel begging for normal people. I'd like him to define that for us, because if there is an eccentric out there human being on this panel, it's Kyle Wallace.
Let me tell you something. I'm pretty consistent.
Tell me something.
I'm very consistent. Now, the TV I watch that has nothing to do with my life that I laugh at, ha ha hee hee, sure, be drama-filled. But the Green Bay Packers are different. The Milwaukee Bucks are different. The Wisconsin Badgers are different. The Milwaukee Brewers are different. When those teams have ups and downs, so do I. My emotions run with my teams.
So basically, you are not equipped to be a sports fan.
I think I'm a pretty good sports fan. I mean, there's some sad days and some high days. Highs and lows, man. Highs and lows.
I feel like you were in more of a low this offseason than I've ever seen you in my entire life.
Well, I mean,
and that's the thing. Is like losing in NFC Championship games hurt Kyle Wallace, but the idea in his mind that Goody is saying that this roster is good enough. He said it in his words today, and now you're being like, this from free agency to the draft, it's just been Kyle on edge.
Yeah, I mean, because his team has holes, and we're looking to fill these holes, and it doesn't seem like he did that.
But what if Goody's right? What if this team is good enough? What if the guys do take the jumps? You need to write a full-on apology.
Okay, calm down. Ain't nobody writing no apology, but I will have a spoken. Listen, if the team's right, then hey, cool. Goody's great, but the thing is, based off past track record, we know kind of how this season's going to end. It's not going to end with a Super Bowl.
That's the thing is, what if this year's not meant to be the Super Bowl year, and what he does this week can help propel them to that? Are you okay with that? I think I need to get you in that mindset.
Well, I would be in that mindset if it hadn't been 15 years since we've been there.
Gosh, you are sassy.
Is your optimism for this team at a low from the last 12 months?
Oh, it's low.
Because not only did they not do well during the season, but then they didn't do that much during free agency. And then Goody's saying, this team's good to go.
What have the Green Bay Packers done to make you more hopeful that they can compete with the likes of a Kansas City Chiefs, the likes of a Buffalo Bills, a Baltimore Ravens, Detroit Lions, and a Philadelphia Eagles? What have they done? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Strofe, take that one, Packer backer.
They're the youngest team in the league, so growth.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
woo, yeah, youngest team in the league. How many Super Bowls have they won, Brad?
0.
Okay, no, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, you sound like a real Packer backer right now. Jordan Love is entering year 3 as a starter. He's going to be healthy this year. Well, at least we hope, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
He wasn't healthy last year.
He wasn't healthy going into last season?
He got hurt at the end of the very first game of the year.
Now you're just like projecting all negativity.
Well,
like now he's bringing up Jordan Love, which the first thing came to my head is that yes, in year 3 of in Jordan Love's career, if he can be healthy, take a next step with LaFleur and Josh Jacobs and the offensive line that they solidified, he could have a very, very good year.
No,
and a lot
agree.
of your worries about all the other holes don't stand out as big because you have somebody propelling the team and playing to the contract and making the team better.
I'm really excited about this offense. Like I think having both Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft, the entire offense. I think Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft having both of them healthy and the opportunity for both of them on the field at the same time. Maybe a little 12 personnel. Kyle, let's get in the weeds a little bit, baby.
Wow.
Come on.
12 personnel.
Again, I just wish we gave Jordan Love as much help as possible so he can truly reach his full potential. But when somebody
that's the point of being the youngest team in the league, Kyle, is these guys are still up and coming. Dontavian Wicks and Jaden Reed, who were both top 10 in drop passes last year, probably not going to happen again in 2025, right? Like I imagine these are guys that are going to the word of the day from Goody is opportunity. These guys are going to have more opportunity than they even did a year ago.
No Christian Watson. Don't know what they're going to bring in from the draft.
Do you know he just said that? All he's talking about is ifs. There's a time if it's and buts. I don't know the saying, but there's a lot of ifs. I want him to say,
there's a lot of ifs with everybody. Nobody's played a game yet.
The Packers definitely have more ifs based off the way that they've built the team.
The Commanders have ifs. The Eagles have ifs. The Lions have ifs.
No, it's Josh Jacobs.
They have
yes, they do.
No,
if the Lions can survive losing both of their coordinators, right? Let's just ignore that. Let's sweep that one under the rug. Why don't we?
That's way less of an if than all these.
The Eagles lost 8 players in free agency,
but across the board, they have more proven studs than the Packers.
I mean, sure, I agree with you, but that's the point on being the youngest team in the league, Brad. These guys can develop and grow.
Stop saying that. The youngest team in the league. That's what we're leaning on. Again,
I was going to say, Strofe, I just want you to lose the youngest team argument, and then I could help you with this one. But I don't want to jump in when the last 2 years, fine. This is the 3rd year of saying that the youngest team. I can't do it anymore. I can't.
Well, they're still the youngest team in the league. That proves how impressive what they did 2 years ago was.
So
We're not
does that
talking about
equate
2
to
years ago.
championships,
Oh, my
Strofe?
goodness.
Will that equate to a championship?
I hope it does.
Yeah, this man.
I can't tell you it
This man
won't.
is staring at the G.
Yeah,
He's in Green
in
Bay
Lambeau.
right now.
I actually am staring at the G.
I know
Yeah.
you feel
I literally
the aura
am.
around the draft, and you're getting all
He's getting that
pumped
smoke
up.
from yesterday.
Are you winning any money at least, Stroke?
Yeah, I actually have. I had a nice little weekend doing a little basketball on the all-new Pick 6 app from DraftKings. DraftKings payout here in the basketball playoffs, way bigger than the competition, including Prize Picks. Set all your picks and score higher minimum payouts on Pick 6, plus even more cash if you outscore the competition. They're going to give you a base payout once you make your picks. If you end up hitting those picks, it's going to compare you to other people on the Pick 6 app. That money's going to go up. All you got to do, click more or less on player projections. A minimum of 2 picks can go all the way up to 6 to maximize your payout. Pick 6 available in most states, including right here in Wisconsin, Missouri, California, Texas, Georgia, and more. And right now on the Pick 6 app, using code WKTI, whatever Kyle thinks impossible, code WKTI, new players will get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly on just a $5 entry. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now. Use code WKTI. That's code WKTI. Better payouts, bigger wins only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as a non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. That's 2 weeks. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Ricky on YouTube, and I'm actually fascinated. He numbers Brad to figure this out right now, where the current roster is in age. And he says Goody's solution to improving a young team is to draft them and make them younger. I'm actually fascinated what their average age is and what they would need to do in the draft and how many guys they would need to keep to be the youngest team in the NFL again. You think you can figure that out, Brad?
I'm going to do my best.
He's going to do his best. Strofe, go take a 10-minute nap. We'll have you at 4:30 for Becoming Relevant.
All right, I'll be here.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
When baby girl went to sleep, she fell asleep, snoring ass.
Oh, wow.
Damn!
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Well, we got a new issue. This is on the Hone Bridge heading northbound, right in the middle of the span. A broken down vehicle stuck in the left lane. So careful with that. We've also got this crash on southbound 894 at Lincoln. The left lane is still blocked. Big delays. They are pretty much stretching all the way back to Mayfair Road. We got the northbound side backing up from Blue Mound Road all the way up through the Capitol Drive area, almost to Hampton. And then the other area, we've got this crash on the left shoulder on northbound 43 on the Rock Freeway there, right about at Sunny Slope Road. Just heads up with that. Luckily, folks are able to get past it without too much of an issue. Escape to the Knickerbocker on the lake. Enjoy stunning lake views, luxurious rooms, and exceptional dining. Experience timeless charm and modern luxury in the heart of Milwaukee. Book your stay at knickerbockeronthelake.com. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Mostly clear, not as windy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a chance of midday showers. Some thunder possible with a high of 53 at the lake, 60 inland. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
And now, unless there's a big boy trade coming that I don't see on the horizon, Green Bay is going to run this thing back and probably pick up an early round draft pick to add to that room.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And you hope that these other guys will emerge and can add, but I don't see them making a J.R. Ewing type change.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The I-94 rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the Crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
Bev Anderson has a big idea she wants to share.
Bev has been here for 24 years.
Hi, Bev. We're anxious to hear your idea.
Kessler's is 45 years old this year. Monica, remember when your dad used to say in every radio ad, "I'm Richard Kessler, and I want to be your jeweler"?
I never got to hear that.
Yeah, and then Rick would say,
Kessler's Diamonds, inconveniently located on Appleton Avenue in Menominee Falls.
Inconveniently?
Richard said it was inconvenient for people to have to drive all the way to Menominee Falls, so he might as well admit it.
Bev, tell us your idea.
Richard said something else in almost every ad, and I think we should start saying it again because it's really important.
Tell us.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
I love that.
Fantastic idea, Bev.
Kessler's Diamonds.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location nearest you, visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Fat Daddy's Milwaukee, Rivals Kenosha, Lucky Clover Milwaukee, DJ's Goalpost Menominee Falls, and Mecca's Sports Bar Milwaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Oh, we're talking about the green and gold and trying to stay healthy. Well, you're trying to stay healthy too, aren't you? I know I am. And QC Kinetics is going to do that, especially if you struggle with joint pain. Your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your back, whatever it is that you're feeling joint pain, QC Kinetics is your go-to solution to give you your life back. Whether it be like golfing or working out, those are my two things, or hiking or tennis or anything that the beauties of Wisconsin spring and summer offer. You're going to want to do that without pain, and you can do that with QC Kinetics. Don't just hear about the only solutions of painful surgery or drugs or the long downtime, because QC Kinetics is without that. They have advanced regenerative treatments to give you recovery that is long-lasting and personally made, without surgery, without drugs. That's right. If it sounds too good to be true, it isn't. I've been there at the Greenfield location. I've seen all the tools in their toolkit to get rid of that pain that you have. PRP, platelets, plasma, so many different things that they can use to give you your life back, again, with a long-term personal solution. The consultation, totally free. So you might as well give them a call today to finally get your life back and get rid of that pain in your joints. Call QC Kinetics today for that free consultation and get your life back. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman with you till 5 o'clock. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Chris Larson running the show. Alex Strofe taking a nap until his next segment. Got to get his beauty sleep. Kyle Wallace, what's the average age of the Green Bay Packers the last couple of years?
Well, the average age of the Green Bay Packers in 2024, this last season, was 25.11, and in 2023, it was 25.13. They actually got younger from 23 to 24.
Want to hear the trend from then 24 to...
Well, Alex Strofe came on here and was like, they're the youngest team in the NFL. They're the youngest team in the NFL. And I thought we reached a point throughout talking with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, Willie and Taus, Jim, Matt, and Molly, fans of ESPN Wisconsin, that we were going to be done using this they're the youngest team in the NFL narrative because it's time to start performing with the guys that you've been putting together. Can they do this, Brad? Can they get younger?
Get ready to be the youngest team in the NFL today. Because if 2023 qualified and if 2024 qualified and the average age was in the 25s, how does an average age in the 24s sound? Because right now, if you look at this roster and you take of just guys that are signed on the team for this next year, 24.78. That is less than the 25s.
Are you kidding me?
They're younger.
How is that possible?
They're younger.
Oh, because they lost
Josh Myers, Eric Stokes,
and Eric Wilson.
And Hobbs is young. He's only 26.
Okay.
And
Banks
Aaron
is young.
Banks is only 26 or 27.
Yeah, he's 27 years old, and you lost Eric Wilson, who was like 29.
Yeah.
Going
through this roster,
No, 29 is too old.
I know.
Woody's like Leonardo DiCaprio.
It is astounding how young these guys are. So, I mean, look, the guys they draft, they're going to be younger than 25. So they will be in the 24-ish range for average age. Now, that leads to the question, because Alex Strofe joined us from the Tundra Trio up there in Green Bay, and he said they're the youngest team in the NFL, and we're expecting growth from that. It seems like Goody wants to stay the youngest team in the NFL year after year after year. This team is getting younger by the year. So my question is, and granted, these young guys that are on here, maybe they're a undrafted rookie from last year. It might go up when final cuts occur, right? The veterans might be older. Either way, they're going to be right there. Can this team win a Super Bowl being perpetually the youngest team in the NFL? Because we expect XYZ to take a next step, right? Wide receivers, D-end, cornerbacks. Steps aren't taken if you continue to stay young. Can this team win a Super Bowl if they are always the youngest team in the NFL?
Historically, no. I mean, that's the answer, is that the youngest team in the NFL never wins a Super Bowl.
The youngest team to win a Super Bowl by roster age
27
was the 2014 New England Patriots with the average age of
27.
25.2.
Oh,
25.2.
wow.
That's very young. That's very young.
Tom Brady.
Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Well, that was Tom Brady at what, age 32 probably?
Something like that,
he won it.
Oh, no, he might be, because he retired at like 44.
Retired at 44. Yeah, but I mean, he's in
like
his young 30s. Yeah, mid to young 30s.
Are we mid to young 30s, Brad? No,
mid.
We're mid.
We're mid.
You guys are mid 30s.
Shut your young ass up.
I turned 34 this year.
So you're about to enter your mid 30s. Is 33 mid? You enter the mids. I think you're in your mid 30s too, man.
Still, I like to consider myself young 30s.
Well, you're getting old. I remember when I met you, you were still in your 20s.
Yeah, that's how time works, buddy.
That's crazy.
I know. Even when he moved to Milwaukee, when he was still doing his old show.
You won't even say the name. The old show.
That's what it is. It's the past show. Like I said, previous institution.
What's wrong with saying Scalzo and Brust?
Oh, wow. Look at him. Just.
I mean, it was 6 years of my life. I can't just erase it.
Oh, you sure can. We can ask Josh DiMaggio. He got erased real quick.
For those who missed it, I made a huge bugaboo, and Josh DiMaggio's not invited to my wedding, and his mom hates me, and I don't blame her.
Yeah, it's on you.
Getting back to it, though, I really don't. I don't think this team can be.
That's the question. Is
ain't no Brady on this team?
Can this team at this 25-ish average age do the same thing again? That hasn't been done since 2014.
What's that 2014 team? Did they have Randy Moss on it too, or no?
No, Randy never won a Super Bowl with the Patriots.
No, they won a Super Bowl. Okay, I'm thinking the 14-2 team way before then. But I mean, I'm sure that team had a lot of veteran talent on that team. You had a Rob Gronkowski who was still young, Julian Edelman, like hey Vince Wilfork, older guy.
I don't think you need to go into the roster of the New England Patriots. I think you can say they were a dynasty.
They had Jarrell Reeves.
No, but their defense is full of studs. The point remains is no matter what their age were, it's not like they had a system. They were consistently great.
Yeah,
the Packers have been good, not great. So now you're trying to take the good and make them elite.
That team had won Super Bowls before that, and that team had future Hall of Famers on the roster. When we look at this Green Bay Packers football team, they have not won a championship recently, and we can't say with any conviction.
Is there a future Hall of Famer on the roster?
No, there is not. There's not one future Hall of Famer that we can say with conviction on this roster.
Yeah, I mean, again, not to look at this team in detail, but the defense, every level, absolutely stacked. They were younger, but they were stacked. All they have great careers, and you got the GOAT of Tom Brady, and you got weapons. Like, this is not even a comparable team to this version of the Green Bay Packers. Now, if everybody takes a collective step forward, which is what everybody's hoping for, I suppose it is, but that's just such an if. I mean, that's...
Brian from Iguanago makes a good point. Good thing they have McManus.
I was going through, so KBN Nation, I manually calculated that.
I saw you going to work.
I'm hammering on this iPhone, 24, 23, 26, 28, 33.
Yeah, you had to stop and be like, wait, is that a typo?
Yeah, it's got to be a typo.
But to that point, and now look at this, you brought up the Patriots. Even they had older guys on that roster. You need to have some older veterans. Look what the older veteran on our team did. He solidified a position that last offseason at this time, we were talking about the dang kicker. The kicker. Now we're not.
Why do you say it like that, Kyle?
Because it was a bad time for Green Bay Packer fans having to watch Anders Carlson and Braden Narvison and Greg Joseph.
It was a gauntlet.
Brad, when you play for Carolina, nobody spent the offseason talking about Brad Nortman.
That's true.
Because it's an afterthought. It's the expectation. They do their job. So now the Green Bay Packers, we're just talking about, do we need to get some more veterans? What do we have to do to get better? So that is my biggest concern with this football team, is that they didn't do enough to get better, and we didn't lean on trying to sign any type of veterans to get better. I'm sorry. McCole Hardman. I'm sorry, Goody. My apologies. I almost forgot he signed McCole Hardman.
Well, age is just a number, Kyle. Remember that.
That's not true.
Not true in football. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, not true in life either.
Yeah, unfortunately, I hate when people say that. It's like, no, I'm 50, but I feel 35. No, you 50.
No, you are.
And it's sort of weird when like a 50-year-old is trying to act like a 25-year-old too.
Oh, Bill Belichick?
Age should be fairly.
Hey, don't knock Bill.
Bill Belichick out here eating fruit as lobster.
What does that mean?
Oh, I'm going to show you a picture.
All right, so for those who missed it, Bill Belichick, the coach of this sounds crazy to say on like out of my mouth. I will have Brad explain it in a second.
Come on.
Brad, Brad, please describe what Bill Belichick, who's dating a 20-year-old as the head same difference at this point. The head coach of the UNC football team had a lobster dish made up of what?
It looked like it was some sort of ice cream, but primarily the lobster. It looks like a lobster is cut up strawberries.
Strawberry lobster.
And his girlfriend took a picture of him eating it. I mean, this feels like a bizarro world. Imagine saying this 10 years ago, that Bill Belichick is dating a 24-year-old, coaching at the University of North Carolina, and is going viral with some dumb food posts.
I would have said, take it down. Got me out here looking stupid. Take it down. He ain't got no power. No say.
He lost it all.
She walking around at practice. Hey, run it again. Run it again. I got to get a different angle. In heels. What is going on?
It is truly amazing what men will do for women.
Man.
Truly amazing.
CC here on all email communications. It's crazy to me. I'm just
that's not real, is it?
No,
it's real.
She needs to be CC.
No. That's not true, right?
That's what I saw. That they said she needs to be CC'd on certain emails.
He said that she needs to be CC'd on football-oriented emails.
Go ahead, Google it. That's what the Google said.
Come on. He's whipped. Yeah. Bill Belichick is whipped.
Come on now. If he was 73 with a 25-year-old, you'd be whipped too. But luckily for you, you have the lovely Lexi. You ain't got to worry about it. Never worry about it.
Bill Belichick is apparently having girlfriend Jordan Hudson copied on all North Carolina emails.
Come on. What are we doing? That's embarrassing.
Well, he's probably invested it well. He's got a lot of money. Maybe, he's got a good relationship there.
Well, I guess when you've invested...
To each their own, right?
I guess when you've invested it that well, you can do what you please. And let me tell you a thing about investing with my friends at Bank 59. Bank 59 offering limited time CD specials. I mean, in today's economy, today's market environment, things are going crazy out there. Interest rates and returns, ups and downs, but not with my friends at Bank 59 and these CD specials. You can earn as much as 4.8% for their special limited time CD specials. And with different lengths of durations, 9 months, 17 months, 25 months, you can pick one that fits your need, all at a great rate. It's just another way. Bank 59 is making lives better in their communities. They're trying to make your life better, your financial life better, and they're doing that with these rates that do not last forever. So hurry. Check out my friends at Bank 59. Give your local Bank 59 branch a call today, or check them out at bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
Becoming relevant with Alex Strofe. Then Brian Balaga joins us before the Homer Hour. Don't go anywhere. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Brad.
Kyle.
I know you.
Kyle.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We've got some big delays on southbound 894, all because of an accident at Lincoln Avenue that's got the left lane blocked. Those delays actually stretch through the zoo interchange all the way up past North Avenue, so do be prepared for those big backups. The northbound side slowing down from Blue Mound Road all the way past Hampton. Southbound on 43 got some backups from just before Burleigh all the way down through the Marquette and over the high rise. Northbound slowing down from just before Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. We've also got some delays along eastbound 94 from before Highway 100, swinging onto 894 southbound, part of the problem with that accident. And then just about 76th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly clear, not as windy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a chance of midday showers. Thunder possible as well, a high of 53 at the lake, 60 inland. Weather is brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Visit any of their 6 locations in the Milwaukee market today. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit tsunamiexpress.com to learn more.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion, or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Ever notice how wine enthusiasts often speak a completely different language? And while that language may technically be English, to most people it's anything but. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where we stock over 8,000 varieties of wine and speak many dialects of wine English to help everyone, from the wine novice to the master sommelier. So if you need an expert recommendation for wine, or maybe you know what you want and simply need help locating it, our experienced staff has got your back. No matter the budget, occasion, or your level of wine expertise, Discount Liquor will make you feel at home. Discount Liquor, unmatched selection, everyday low prices, a helpful staff, and 2 convenient locations. In Milwaukee on 51st and Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
Discount Liquor.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Welcome back.
What up, KBN Nation. Listen, if you are thinking about doing some spring upgrading, then think about upgrading your windows with Universal Windows Direct. And right now, they have a great offer for you. You already know what the fan favorite is. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free. There is absolutely no limit, and the savings don't stop there. Guess what? Because they love you, you can get a $500 bonus. Yes, $500 off your next home improvement project. There has never been a better time than now to work with Universal Windows Direct. Upgrade your curb appeal, increase your energy savings, and take on those big projects with confidence by scheduling your free in-home estimate today by calling 414-410-2000. That's 414-410-2000, or visit them at uwd.com. That is universalwindowsdirect.com. For the last window show ever need, go to uwd.com, and like me, you'll be saying, KBN Nation, I love my windows.
Alex Strofe, are you back with us?
I'm right here, Benny.
You get 4 minutes on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman for becoming relevant, because I got to save time for Brian Balaga next.
Best 4 minutes of your life.
Mr. Irrelevant, it's time to become relevant. Strofe's time to shine on KBN starts now.
All right, let's start with WrestleMania, boys. John Cena. John Cena, 17-time world champion.
I'm not gonna lie.
With the help of rapper Travis Scott, who comes out in the main event of WrestleMania last night and helps John Cena break the record. Thoughts?
I got nothing.
I'm not gonna lie. My Twitter X was filled with wrestling stuff, and because Stone Cold Steve Austin got into the Hall of Fame, I actually followed a little bit.
I did see him drive a 4-wheeler and crash it.
He didn't get into the Hall of Fame.
Why did it take so long for him to get in?
He's already in the Hall of Fame.
Wait, and what was he doing?
He just came out to announce the attendance last night. He crashed his 4-wheeler into the wall, and a fan got injured. Crazy.
Oh, that fan is so fake. She did exactly what I would do if I got hit by a car. She didn't even get hit.
That's probably fair.
There was a barrier.
That's probably fair. All right, fellas, today, National Kindergarten Day, the first kindergarten in the United States, founded in Watertown, Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
Fun fact for you. Now, I may be feeling a tad reflective. I may be feeling a tad reflective because I'm in my hometown of Green Bay. I went to Martin Elementary School on the east side of Green Bay. And I was reflecting, and I realized I got bullied by 3 girls when I was in kindergarten.
Not much changed.
I remember I cried to Miss Opichka, rest in peace, and she took care of me. She was like, "No, you got to stop picking on the kid with big ears."
So, what did they attack you for, Strofe?
Being the weakest link.
Well, so our seating chart in kindergarten, I think it was alphabetical, so I was by a bunch of girls that also had names that started with A, first name alphabetical, and it was me and like 4 other girls, and they always bullied me because I was the boy at the table. Yeah, you got it. 2 for 2 so far, actually. Actually? And then eventually my seat got moved, and that was all I remember.
What did your dad say when you came home and said,
I don't think I told him.
Amanda are bullying me?
I don't think I told him. But I think I've told you the story in kindergarten. That was also the year where I did the show and tell thing where I jumped in the air and clapped my hands between my legs. But that was a very formative year for me, I'm realizing. Happy National Kindergarten Day.
Wow. What would you do? What would y'all do? Y'all both got kids. What if you do if your son came home, or if y'all have sons, a child, mostly sons, came home and said they were being bullied by 3 girls in school, in kindergarten?
I mean, I'm speechless.
I don't know what to say.
Oh, but what do you want me to do about it? Tell them to leave you the heck alone.
Tell them to leave you alone. Yeah, I didn't do that because I didn't want to be mean. I've always been a nice guy.
Yeah, see, I like at this point,
pushover.
This would be bad advice, but I'd say bully back.
Well, it's actually tricky because like a guy bullying or a boy bullying back girls, that's not a good look at all.
You already know little Brust, the male Brust, gonna be bullying all the girls.
Who says there's gonna be a male Brust? I'm gonna have like 4 girls probably.
Probably.
Oh, you're having 4 kids? Good for you.
No.
You get something to tell us?
Unless I'm in the Nortman Trust, probably not.
That's fair. That's fair. Last thing for you fellas, real quick. Nico Harrison, the general manager of the Dallas Mavericks, holding his end-of-season press conference today, said, quote, "I did know Luka Doncic was important to the fan base. I didn't know quite to this level," end quote. How fast is he going to get fired?
He's the poor scapegoat right now. I'm now convinced then the owners wanted. Kyle was right.
I told you.
He was right.
Yeah, the owners they're trying to sabotage this whole situation.
That's so bizarre, though. I don't see how. Well, I know that there's a bunch of conspiracy
Las
theories.
Vegas. Apply pressure, baby. Y'all give us what we want. We gonna take away something.
I don't know, but to go to that lengths to just ruin a team, that seems crazy to me.
Money.
I guess being told no when you have that much money, you say, "Oh, you'll tell me no." Okay, I'll show you a thing or two.
What I'm gonna do is attendance gonna drop. I'm gonna ask y'all to help me build a new stadium. If y'all don't approve this new stadium with a casino, I know somewhere that really wants to have a basketball team.
That'd be fun.
You already got a basketball team in Houston and San Antonio. Do you really need Dallas? I mean, I do.
Cue the X-Files.
Yeah, no kidding.
Don't cue the X-Files right now because I do want to get to Brian Balaga. Brian Balaga is the most level-headed guy I think we have on ESPN Wisconsin. Is that fair to say?
I think it is. It is.
Homer, you disagree?
Knowledgeable and level-headed.
Yeah, I think I am.
Hell no. Hell no. Brian Balaga next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Kyle, I think you're doing a good job getting it all off your chest.
I love Matt LaFleur.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The excitement is building for Walk MS. Join in and be part of an unforgettable display of support and love surrounding people with multiple sclerosis. It takes a whole community to end this disease. This May, all over the state, witness firsthand the MS community coming to life like never before, including on Sunday, May 4th at the Summerfest grounds for Walk MS Milwaukee. Visit walkms.org today and plan to join us around Wisconsin. That's May 4th at the Summerfest grounds.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Michelle Smallman.
I think if you're looking at the Lakers and you're thinking about them long term, this season is a success.
Bingo.
If you're looking at the Lakers and we're focusing on just this season, when LeBron James is 40 years old and they get bounced in the first round, I think it's a failure. Failure at worst, disappointment at best. Because I'm with you, when they first made the Luka trade, I thought no matter what else happens this season, it's a win. It's a win for them. We are going to put more expectations on them next season based on the runway that Luka gives this organization, and we didn't really expect them to be a true title contender heading into the season. If the Lakers get bounced in the first round, I would consider it to be a failure. If you're looking at the Lakers holistically, organizationally, it's a win. If you're looking at the Lakers as far as their window to win with LeBron, disappointment/failure.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I've got some famous friends you probably never.
Less than an hour from Green Bay, you got to elevate your draft experience when you make Higher Love your top pick. Draft day is really approaching now, and whether you're watching every pick or there for the party, Higher Love is everything you need to elevate that draft experience. As the best in the Midwest, Higher Love offers the largest selection of organic, clean, green certified products at unbeatable value. Less than an hour from Green Bay, and the draft is here. Less than 2.5 from Milwaukee. Check out Higher Love at findhigherlove.com/CBD and 25% off in-store and online at Menominee only if you use the promo code ESPN Draft. That's promo code ESPN Draft, April 24th through the 28th. All right, so get ready for the 24th and 28th. Higherlove.com/CBD ESPN Draft. Joining us now is Brian Balaga. He'll be joining Homer on the Homer Hour. Brian, I said you're probably the most sane person that we have on ESPN Wisconsin. Homer claimed it was him, and I think that is baffling.
That is, I mean, I guess you could say he's sane.
No, an insane person says that. That's what an insane person would say. Fits the description of it.
Did you have a chance to listen to anything from Goody today?
I didn't. I was busy today, so I didn't get to hear any of the pressers or media, anything good.
That's what we got for you. Here's Goody on the impact of a first-round pick.
No, I mean, I think you'd love to, but I mean, I think a lot of you guys have been around here. It's great when they do, but that's not always the case. I mean, the transition to the National Football League is tough. It's not always easy. A lot of times it's really determined by opportunity. You know what I mean? I mean, if you take a guy in a particular area, that he's just going to have a lot more opportunity than somebody else, and we try to stay away from that drafting.
That's good right there, and I also want you to hear this one because the way he talks about the roster I think is fascinating. This was him being asked about potentially bucking the 2002 trend by Jason Wilde and drafting a wide receiver in the first round.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I feel really good about our roster right now. I mean, I think that's one of it doesn't happen every year. I mean, every year is a little bit different, but if we had to go play next week, I feel really good about our roster and our ability to win and go compete. So, really across the board. So, hopefully as this draft unfolds, we're able to just kind of sit back and select the best players that fall to us. I mean, that'll be, I think something we've prepared ourselves to be in. So, no, I don't think we've looked at it really any differently than other than certainly if there's an opportunity to take a player at that position that makes sense, we'll do it. But I don't think we feel like we need to do anything.
Brian, do you agree with that statement? Do you really think the Green Bay Packers have put themselves in a position based off how the roster is built and based off past first-round draft picks that, we don't need a first-round draft pick to contribute right away next season?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's him being, protecting players a little bit, I think, to be honest with you, and protecting some former first-round picks. But to be honest, I think you do need a guy that you can draft right now and step in and play. I think you need that or have the potential to do that because there are some holes in the roster. That's just the way it is. Everyone knows that. He knows that too. But the next part is he doesn't want to put pressure on this incoming guy to feel that way. So there's a lot of things to this than just like him saying, "Oh, we don't need the guy to play." He knows that he needs to be able to play and potentially play a huge role when he gets here, but it's hard to judge knowing, like he kind of said, who falls to him in the board at what position. If they're going to take best player available and not best player available at a position of need, then that's a whole different story.
Yeah, Brian, every first round draft pick has a different story. But just in general, when you were playing and the Packers drafted someone in the first round, you yourself was drafted in the first round. Generally speaking, what was your expectation for your new teammate who was a first-round draft pick? Like, what's the minimum amount of contribution they need to have for you to say, okay, like that's what I would expect out of a first-round draft pick?
Yeah, I mean, to me, we always looked at it, or at least I always looked at it as like, where did they get drafted? Like, what position group, right? You would look at, so say a perfect example would be like when they drafted Nick Perry. Draft Nick Perry, and you're in a group with Clay and those guys, and it's a very productive group. So you would assume a first-round pass rusher would probably, get probably of his rookie year 5 to 6 sacks or somewhere in there, and be productive and disruptive. And I think Nick Perry did somewhere in those numbers or something like that his rookie year, and was a really good player his rookie year. Rarely do you have those rookie seasons and those really jump out seasons like the all-pro guys have, like Clay, like TJ Watt, like Myles Garrett. Like those are all Pro Bowl, Hall of Famer type players, right? Like you don't draft those guys every day, every year. So like you're looking for contributions that are solid impacts from first-round players that end up being big-time contributors down the road. Hopefully, you maybe strike gold and find that type of Clay Matthews type guy or something like that ends up being a rookie that is just an absolute lightning bolt, and he ends up being great day one and the production's off the map.
When you look at this wide receiver position, do you have any concerns that Goody feels comfortable? I mean, obviously, the room is the room, but would you be disappointed if the Green Bay Packers walked out of that NFL draft weekend without drafting a wide receiver in round 1 or round 2?
Yeah, I mean, I expect him to probably address the room in round 1 or 2, simply because of the contract situation of guys in that room, right? Two are up this year and 2 are up next year. You can't keep them all. So I fully expect him to address that room in this draft. It's like he has to. He has to start replenishing that group and kind of freshening the ranks and doing that. So, yeah, I fully expect him to do it. Again, where that board falls and where guys fall will be the question.
Let's play perfect world. Brian Balaga, your perfect world of the board falling, and you get the 4 guys at 4 positions. Let's just say 3 positions, right? You got defensive line or edge, whichever you want to choose. You have wide receiver and cornerback. The board falls to you in the first and second round. Which way are you going with those picks in the first and second round?
I'm going to go edge first round, and then second round I would probably go receiver, and then DB.
I'm not mad at it.
No, I mean, that'd be good. It's need and it's impact.
I'm just nervous that he's going to draft somebody who has a lot of potential but not a lot of production in college at the edge position.
That'd be on brand for Goody.
Well, I mean, let's see. Let's just see.
I like that, Brian.
Let's see. We have no impact, but you know what? He had some pretty good picks last year and the year prior. So let's just see and have the faith.
What a good way to end the show for Kyle.
I can't wait to see Brian on Thursday. Yeah.
He's going to be grilling. He's going to be joining shows. He's going to be doing a lot.
I'm going to get some of them ribs.
I don't know what I'm grilling. That's the scary part. I have no idea.
Well, I'll taste it.
That doesn't sound like a man that's confident behind the grill no matter what he's given. But we'll find out.
If it's steaks or burgers, I'm good. I don't know what they're giving me.
Well, we're going to find out together. Brian Balaga and Homer up next on the Homer Hour in 2 minutes.
Northbound